Oh yeah. I just be getting those vibes, man, from that intro. How y'all doing, everybody? It's a Monday afternoon here in H Town. Where y'all repping from this afternoon or morning, wherever you're at? If you're on the East Coast or other parts of the world, some of the people that watch this show, it's tomorrow. So welcome everybody to the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network. Thank y'all for coming through and rocking with your boy. Please hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Please. Don't just come here and enjoy yourself and be a part of the festivities without doing something you can do to support for absolutely free. All right. So please hit that like button for your boy Trigger Mike. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I did, man. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Let me recap the weekend's festivities, man. I've spent a lot of time away from the church. I spent a lot of time away from it, and we talk a lot of trash. As you become more secular, I'm just gonna be 100% real with y'all. That ain't for me. I need spiritual guidance. If you're the same way, put a one in the chat because man, I just need to get recentered around something. And I'm just telling y'all, some of y'all need to do the same thing. Just get recentered around values. It don't got to be religion. Get recentered around principles. Give your life some meaning, and definitely, and men especially, give your life some purpose. Because man, we just out here existing. That's not a life. You need purpose. You need to get centered around something bigger than yourself, some principles, other like-minded individuals. I promise you, it's something all men and women need, especially if you out here just existing. You need to live, all right? So please, I hope y'all had a great weekend. It was a wonderful weekend for me. I just relaxed. Like for some reason, me and my wife, we just looked tired, but I was like, today I feel fulfilled. I taught a class yesterday after church. That went well. Lady was all in tears thanking me. I was like, oh, okay, well, this is great. Always great to help out the community, help you feel safe. Whoop de whoop. But shoot, how y'all doing, man? How was y'all weekend? Let me know what y'all did. All my people in Dallas, I'll be there soon. I might teach a class that weekend too, if enough people come through and support. But my wife said we're going to take the kids to medieval times. They got that in Dallas. Hopefully we stay at the embassy. Their breakfast be lit. I know, well, we got a membership. What I'm talking about, or their point system, whatever there. So I'm sure we got some free stays in there somewhere. All right. But yeah, thank y'all for coming through to the Trigger Mike Show on the Lapeef Network. Hit like and subscribe. If another thing that you could do for me on this broadcast is we're trying to get to 100,000 viewers, man. This is the best network on YouTube, in case you didn't know. This is the best network on YouTube. So make sure y'all share this out to everybody on your Instagram chat. Share this out to everybody in your Facebook group or whatever and let them know this is what you're watching. We get down to it, man. I was gone for a little bit, but I missed you guys. I had to come back through. Ooh, Ed Hill was talking about that game last night. How y'all like that game last night? Listen, I called it. I'm not gonna lie. I said somebody is gonna come out of this play. I think it was like a timeout. No, it wasn't timeout. It was the beginning of the fourth quarter. This is what happens in the NBA now. I do not look at a 10-point lead. You might as well be up by one. As many threes as people shoot in the NBA, you got to be up 20 to start taking your starters out the game. I'm sorry. I knew they was going to come back like that because of the 3-point percentage they had shot. They were at like 52%, and they left Duncan Robinson in the game. They had like a 3-guard setup. I was like, Vincent, Robinson, or Caleb Martin, they are there for a reason. Do not bench Jokic. Do not bench Jokic. Nobody gonna give them any pressure on the wing. And next thing you know, knock up, swat up right in their face. Now they up 2. I called it coming into the fourth quarter. I was like, yo, they got a 3-guard setup and Jokic on the bench. I was like, they about to take the lead. And they sure enough did. Damn. You got to protect these leads with all these threes people shooting. I'm telling you. Now that game was dope. That game was dope. I still think Denver is going to take it. Here's why. Miami does not have any room to make mistakes. They don't. That game was fire. This might not get the numbers the NBA Finals is used to getting, but this is good for basketball, man. I'm telling you. We watching stretch 5 just ball out. You watching undrafted players. I think Gabe Vincent was undrafted. Duncan Robinson undrafted. Just light them up. So this is good for basketball, man. I'm telling you. Oh, he said my camera's moving. That's me and this damn take my elbow off the bench. But let me tell you, man, this is good for basketball, bro. Denver's gonna take it only because, in my opinion, only because they got to play a game like that every night. The Heat got to play like that every night. Denver don't got to play like that every night. They got too many weapons. They got, two all-stars, two role-playing high. Any team would take Michael Porter Jr. At the max salary, damn near any team. Aaron Gordon out here showing his worth. Like, they got Bruce Brown scoring more than the entire bench off the bench. I was like, you got to be that good every night and shoot that high ass 3-point percentage every night to take the finals. Can they do it? We'll see. But nah, I think it's still Denver in 7. For real, for real. But shout out to everybody, man. If you want to support the show, please do so by forming a super chat. I know that I'm a intellectual guy and you guys like coming, but one of the things I don't like is I literally be dropping knowledge. I be bringing some of the best dudes on YouTube here. We got some of the most substantive opinions, very succinct, straight to the point. We be doing all this shit for y'all, and we don't get no goddamn super chats because we don't got titties. I don't like that shit. Y'all just be going and tricking off on every other you know I be on these other podcasts. I be on these other broadcasts, bro. Y'all niggas, I'm sorry, y'all dudes are some tricks. Y'all will drop bread wherever the pretty women at. So don't make me have to. I'll have strippers dancing behind me. Okay? I don't play that shit. Support your brothers too. Support your brothers. Y'all out here throwing cash at these ladies. They don't, some of them, the ones I be on, those ladies be saying some good stuff. But some of these women don't be saying shit, and y'all be dropping cold hard cash on their head. Don't make me come after y'all, man. Y'all better super chat your boy Trigger Mike. I work hard in these streets, and I want that represented in my earning potential too. These women don't be saying nothing, literally just super chat, super chat, super chat. Support your boy, man. Stop playing with me. And if you like anything that the panel has said or that I have said, please send a super thanks after the broadcast is over. I appreciate that. Good God Almighty. Look at my man. This is about probably our number one supporter, my man, John the Baptist. He said for this, he's going to request no strippers. You right, bro. I ain't going to do it like that. My man, Trade, you know this your new name, bro. Trade a Trick. He said he got to save his coins for the cleavage. Uh-huh. We know. You the one paying for the cleavage. That's what we heard on the last episode. But let me drop this link because this is going to be a short monologue because this is not just going to be Trigger Mike's opinion or what I think. This is something that we need to chop up. So let me shout out everybody in the chat real quick that came through today, and we're going to talk about the topic today. Damn, y'all was talking today. My man, True Table, where you been at, bro? What's up? Jolie, how you doing? This will be a great chat. Please join us if you can. Jill's Chocolate Boutique, how you doing, Sugarfoot? Welcome to the Trigger Mike Show, as always. Esh, how you doing, my lady? Please come up and talk to us. It was great to talk to you last time. It was good to see you, my man. Badass 93 Stang. That's what's up. Oh, the 93 from House Party. I used to love that damn car, for real, for real. Ed Hill, my man. What's going on? Trade a Trick is in the building. Cool Gamer, how you doing? Greg S, how you doing? Frenchie 757. What's going on, my guy? The Last African. Oh damn. I was like, what is this rainbow for? But is the new that is I like that statement. I don't think I can disprove it. All right. Who else we got? Jocelyn, how you doing? Austin in the building. Okay. Damn, it's expensive in Austin. In fact, tell me this, Jocelyn. My brother is trying to move to Austin. He wants to be different. He wants to be different. So I got him a little teaching gig and everything, but it's online. So he figured he can move anywhere he want to. He talking about he want to move to Austin. I'm like, dude, move here so we can raise our children together. He want to move to Austin. He just want to be different. He like that. I don't get it. But anyway, tell me where he should move because Austin is expensive. I was talking to my wife like, I want to be a CEO. I want to be a VP or CEO of a hospital one of these days. Not sure if that's possible. All this shit I done talked on the internet, but anyway, um, and a lot of those jobs were available in Austin. I was with an executive, not headhunter. What do you call them guy? An executive placement professional, and they were telling me, "Come to Austin, man. It's where it's at." But then I was looking at the housing prices and was like, "Dude, I'm not selling my house to move into a smaller house in Austin, Texas. I'm just not doing it. Houston is where it's at for real estate. It's such a big city. The money's popping here, and the value is still better than Dallas. It's better than Austin. Maybe not. No, it's better than San Antonio too. This is the best value for your buck, for your housing buck. The taxes are high as crap, but still, that's everywhere in Texas. So, tell me the new suburb of Austin that's more affordable than the stuff that I seen when I was looking into it a few years ago. My man EBD says Round Rock, San Marcos. Yeah, they want to move to Austin because my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, she went to what's that university? She got her master's at Pflugerville. That's what he was talking about. Round Rock. Okay, we'll look into it. The housing is still high. I ain't gonna lie. I looked into that too, but I heard Pflugerville a few times. So that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, listen, y'all. Welcome to the Trigger Mike Show. Our topic for today is what is a good woman? Women, this is obviously a topic that I'm going to need your help on. I'm going to drop the link so y'all can come up. This is going to be a short monologue. Fellas, please come up because you're obviously integral. You're an integral part of this process, piecing together what a good woman is. But let me tell y'all how I formulated this topic and why this topic is what we are going to discuss today. And I'm being real. This is something that I noticed. This is not cap. This is not nothing dramatic to launch this topic. This is something real that I noticed this weekend. So you guys know I have a lot of conversations online and in person. So since I've become this YouTube personality, people now recognize who I am in the barbershop. I took a break, but before that, I went to the barbershop and a dude literally was like, "Yo, what's this name? This dude name?" So I either know there's two ways people know me in the Houston area: from shooting, maybe few people, some friend groups, church groups may have taken my shooting class, and now dude was like, "No, he called me Trigger Mike, which is also my shooting name, which is why I got that name in the first place, but he knew me from YouTube. He was like, we watched your show one day, and I forgot the title. It was one of those titles where we had a lot of views. And he was like, we was in here cracking up. He loved everything the panel had to say. So now it's not just those type of people that want to chop it up. It's also women. They want to challenge me in the open. My sisters-in-law, my homegirls from college, all these people want to chop it up. Literally will just send me random paragraphs on Instagram and Facebook. What do you think about this? Because I heard you say blank and blank, and I've been triggered the whole time. So there is one thing in all of these conversations, literally on the 100th conversation that I had this weekend, because of the episode that we had on Friday about DC Young Fly's baby mama and our stance as men, my stance and the stance that we had about women and their deadly beauty standards and what men prefer. In fact, this weekend let me know how insecure women are, because even though a woman has died, y'all still out here trying to make excuses for getting plastic surgery, but that's not my business. Now I've realized something, that I'm getting bombarded by all of the women in my life. Colleagues, old acquaintances, they watch the Trigger Mike show. They watch Lapeef. In fact, sorry, let me not speak on. They watch the Lapeef Let's Talk show, and some of them don't even know about my show. They just know sometimes I host that show, and sometimes I'm on King Talk. So even when they see my opinions there, now people are bombarding me. I know you on that show, right? I had to add someone to my advisory board, one of my colleagues from years ago, She's like, I seen you on that show. I ain't want to say nothing because you be a little yo opinion be a little spicy for me. That's not the Mike I know. I'm just not a simp. That's what they're really trying to say. But you can continue to know the professional me, but that's the real me. Something has occurred. There's something has occurred in my 100th conversation from this week, y'all. Something has occurred. All women describe themselves as good women. In fact, I have never in my life, not being dramatic, I have never heard a woman describe herself as a bad woman, as an incapable woman, as a woman not deserving of something. If you agree with what I said, put a 1 in the chat. I'm not capping. I just realized every woman thinks they're a good woman. Every woman thinks they're a good woman. Because what we were saying, even on the She Critique, they were like, but when a man gets a good woman, when they're talking about themselves, well, I'm a good woman. Then you go on this conversation over here. Well, what is a man supposed to do with me? I'm a good woman. I was like, yo, all of you think you are good women. Every woman thinks they're a good woman. I'd never realized that. I'm not joking. I never realized that. They all think they're good women. How can that be possible? It's not. It's not possible. So then we have to now get on here and explain and in detail and break down the men and women. So women, I'm gonna drop the leak again, and I want y'all to come up and talk to me about this. I want to talk with you. Think about it. What is a good woman? Because all of you think you're good women. Not one woman ever in my life have I heard her describe herself as a bad woman, as an incapable woman, as a woman not worthy of a man at the time. They all think they're worthy. They all think they've done nothing wrong. They all think they're perfectly capable. They all think they're emotionally stable. They all think they're emotionally intelligent. So what is a good woman? Y'all get where I'm at with this? I was like, damn, like literally scratching my head like, all of you think you're good women. That's crazy. According to who? So we're going to chop that up today. This is where this came from. That's a good topic to discuss. It's not to disparage women. It's literally to lay out plainly in detail, as we tend to do on this show. What is a good woman? I want to know what the women think a good woman is, and I want to know what the men think a good woman is. Please excuse me if I get this wrong. I've never seen this name before. Lewisstein Rattler. Please explain what is a good man. We already did. We have a whole episode from months ago. Please type in Good Man Trigger Mike Show in the YouTube search block after this show, of course. And we have an entire episode titled, What is a Good Man? We've already done that. We've already chopped it up on such a topic, the exact topic, as a matter of fact. But this topic today is titled, What is a Good Woman? I was like, literally like, yo, that's crazy. Every woman thinks she's a good woman. So now we got to get down to the bottom of that. So we're going to take a moment to talk about a few things in regards to what a good woman is supposed to be, or at least what we think she's supposed to be. So chat, I need you to help me out. I need you to help me out. Hey, let me say this before I say that. Anissa says, if you can't find a good woman, it's because you're not a good man. Anissa, this is actually not true. Well, not in the way you're saying. What you're saying, it's not true. For some reason, bad men have no problem. Bad men have no problem destroying the lives of good women, which means they know where to find them. I know bad men exist. I know bandits or whatever fuck y'all calling them out here in the YouTube streets. I know they exist. I don't personally hang with these dudes. Like I always say, I don't know a man that doesn't take care of his kids, but somehow women always know where to find them. Y'all know exact beeline straight to where this nigga's at. straight to his cigar bar where he hang out, straight to his motorcycle club where he tears shit up, straight to his low down after hour spot in Third Ward. Y'all always know where to find these niggas. I don't hang with these niggas. I don't chill with these niggas. I don't know a dude that show up in my circle that carries himself like those men do. But for some reason, the good women, the women with so much to lose, the women with no kids, a good career, that are educated, y'all know where to find them. So I don't think that's true at all. All right, chat. Y'all gonna help me out real quick. John the Baptist, I see you in the back. I'll bring you up in a second, bro. Please list some of the characteristics of a good woman so I may read them aloud. Please list some of the characteristics of a good woman so I may read them aloud. What is a good woman to you? What is a good woman? Let's talk about it. My man True Table says a good woman can't exist without the influence of leadership of a good man first. Damn, do you know this is bordering on that statement that Donovan Sharp made on Fresh and Fit. Because that, when I say that had me thinking so deep. Donovan Sharp said, True Table, this is for you. Donovan Sharp said, a woman cannot love herself until a man loves her first. Ladies, I know you triggered. I know. I didn't take the statement at value. I was like, what? Huh? But go ahead and break it down at the social and emotional deficits suffered by women who never have been properly loved by a man without that man wanting something most likely sexual from her. These women have severe social and emotional deficits, low self-worth, low self-esteem, high promiscuity, low chance of marriage, high chance of single motherhood, high chance of single motherhood before marriage. Like, yo, I'm telling you, that statement, I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's extremely hard to prove it wrong. You can try. I've tried, and I heard that over a year and a half ago. So what True Table is saying, I'm telling you, it may be triggering to you, but hold on to it, ponder on it, and then give your response. A good woman can't exist without the influence and leadership of a good man first. I'm not saying True Table is right. I'm saying I guarantee you're going to have a hard time proving him wrong. Stanley says a working man cannot compete with an unemployed Pookie. That seems like that these days. My man Ed Hill says valuing herself. Damn. Yo, if we had to give, and we're going to do something like this, it's not going to be geared toward, I'm not going to say it like that, like an agent of chaos or something like, yo, it's over for all women. No, I'm not going to say that, but the way Ed Hill says valuing herself, I'm telling you that is a key objective. I believe that would be a key objective in describing the nature and characteristics of a good woman. How can the world value you? How can the world respect you if you don't have respect for yourself? I just said that on JP's podcast. You cannot expect a man to love and respect you more than you love and respect yourself. That type of confidence, that type of self-worth, it shows it shows itself in all facets of your life. And it also shows when it's not present. Very apparent when it's not present. My man EBD says, a good woman can understand and respect the value of men. EBD, on point, bro. On point. Do you know who the best women are? The best women in society. I'm sorry. Let me not say best women. Do you know who the strong women are? These are the strongest, most competent women. The women that understand and respect the value of men. They understand how to utilize men, not the women that are walking around trying to be men. Understand that very clearly. You are 100% right, EBD. 100% right. Those are the women. Those are the women that are the most strong and most competent women on earth. They understand that this is not my place. This is not my atmosphere. This is not my zone. Let my man or let a man handle this. Those women can actually accomplish anything. Whenever I see a woman trying to elbow her way through a bunch of men and have her way there, that is a weak woman to me. She don't know how to utilize the men in her life. She's going to be limited her whole life when once she realized that her womanhood can only get her so far. But that woman that can mobilize men to her cause, she can exist anywhere. So I 100% agree. David Murphy says helpful and pleasant to be around. Agreed. I'm going to drop that link, y'all. Come up and talk to me. I need to know. What is a good woman? What are your opening thoughts? No cupcake zone. More men are married than women. That's true. Kenny from the block. Good characteristics for anyone. A good listener. That is correct. Zoomer generation. A woman that stays home and focuses on hygiene and health. Well, we're kind of in a new time. I don't know about the staying home part, but hygiene and health, I agree with 100%. In fact, that's a very keen observation. A woman that does not focus on her hygiene and health, how is she going to be perceived by the world before? How are you even going to be received by the world before we even decide to tell you you're a good woman or not? We won't even want to approach you. Stanley says faithful, trustworthy, thrifty, intelligent, submissive, honest, healthy, or at least eating a healthy diet. Okay, I see you. No Cupcake says modest. Again, we got loyalty, honesty, able to compromise, have morals, believe in God, able to bring income to the household. That's what, hey, I like that. Let me tell you now, and this is a developing hypothesis of mine. Let me tell you a developing hypothesis of mine. I have watched intelligent male atheists my whole life try to spiritually guide themselves. They can do it a lot longer, but even they will reach a point in life where their logic can no longer sustain them, and some of them do turn to religion. I have seen men that are atheists be sustained by cold, hard facts and logic. I've seen that. But for some reason, I have never seen a woman that can spiritually guide herself. It always goes wrong for a woman in that way. If I'm telling a lie, let me know. Women spiritually guiding themselves is literally the most dangerous thing on earth. So when Badass Mustang says a belief in God, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's almost more important for a woman to have a belief and strong adherence to religious principles than it is for a man. Because without it, you're screwed. What goes through a woman's mind when she has no principles, no value system, it literally will destroy the earth. It has destroyed every single empire. Remember, feminism is what spawned from the lack of adherence to your religious principle. You rebelled against religious principles to join the feminist movement. You did. Don't lie. Every single thing all this shit y'all talk on YouTube, All this shit y'all talk on Instagram, all this Cynthia G shit y'all talking kill male babies, that is the most anti-Christian, anti-Muslim, anti-Buddhist. All of that shit is anti-religion. So I don't want to hear none of y'all say y'all are religious people talking that shit, following that devil. You cannot follow Cynthia G and be a religious woman. You can't. On God, you can't. If you agree with me, put a 1 in the chat. Ain't no way. The day she would have said that, that bitch would have been canceled. Canceled. I rarely cancel anyone for difference in ideology. The day she said that shit, I'm canceling her ass. Fuck you talking about? You done crossed the line. You a linebacker looking ass bitch. All right, I shouldn't have said that. You done crossed the fucking line. How can you hear some shit like that and still follow somebody? Y'all are heathens. Y'all are heathens. I can't follow that. That lady's the devil. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Ladies, this is your topic. Ladies, this is your topic. I need y'all to come up. We are leaving the floor open for you. There are men telling you that are even dropping super chats saying they need you to cam up for this topic. What are y'all waiting for? The link is in the chat. Let me read some more. Characteristics of a good woman. What do y'all have? What do y'all got on this? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, come up and talk to your boy. But we're going to get into opening thoughts. Mr. Rich, how you doing?
Hey, man. I didn't know you were going to bring me up so fast. Yeah, how you doing, man?
Oh, my bad,
Good.
my bad.
Yeah, that's cool. It's good. It's good.
I just needed somebody else to talk so I could develop some questions real quick.
Hey, man, it's a good topic. Good topic. We need some women to come up.
Do you agree with what I said? Because I need to know I'm not tripping. I literally, it just hit me and I realized no woman describes herself as a bad woman. They all say they're good women. I'm a good woman. Like the conversations that I had, and I was asking them questions like, I mean, why do you deserve, or what makes you think a woman deserve? And they would just say, well, I'm a good woman. So, and I was like, what? And a few of them, there are terrible women. I'm not going to lie. A few of them are terrible.
No, but let me ask you, why would you be surprised? I mean, we don't even need to focus on that. I mean, if you go around a panel of women and ask them how they rank themselves, they're all 10s.
Yeah.
You know, they do all that.
Right.
I mean, you know, so it's kind of nonsense that I think you have to just let it roll off your back and then ask the next question, you know, and try to get it a little bit in depth when they have those delusional answers. But I think you're on the right track. And one of the things that's going to help this show is the fact that you did have a show on What is a Good Man.
Yep.
You know, so nobody can say we're only focusing on the chicks, but we definitely need some of the women to come up. You know,
definitely.
we do.
I want to hear from them. Like, this is y'all topic. This is y'all. Look at what's her name, Savannah James, looking all elegant. I think you know. Let me. Well, shoot. I done gave my whole monologue. We got the homies up here. What's up, EBD?
Chilling.
What's up,
I like what's in common. What you have in common though is like a lot of modern women these days. All of them got the same story. They're good women who dated like trash men or could trash their ex or had a toxic ex or something like that. But I think one of the characteristics of good women is the fact that they'll all the language, right? The pre-programmable language that they use to describe relationships can tell you what kind of woman you're dealing with. If a woman that you're dealing with says, I've been through some troubled relationships or some relationships that had trouble, then it's up for interpretation that, you know, she can be at fault, he can be at fault. But if the words out of her mouth is, well, all I've dated were trash men and all men were trash and this and that and the other, and all of them were bad, none of them were good, I was the perfect one, and all of y'all needed change, then yeah, you know what you got there. You know you don't have a woman that's all about anything else but disrespecting men. So she's looking for Mr. Perfect, and he's never out there. And even if he was out there, he probably wouldn't want you.
Got you. All right. John the Baptist.
What up, Trigger?
What's going on, my guy?
I can't call it. Mr. Payne, Mr. Dragon.
How you doing?
I appreciate the super sticker earlier so I didn't have to bring any strippers up.
Yeah. I'm starting to shy. I'm starting to shy away from drama. I can't do it.
I can't- you and me both, man. Like I literally was about to go on Fight Club last night, and was like, sometimes you all right. Listen, we are astute enough to know when we're not talking BS, and that's literally one of the markers of a mature man. When you try to have a mature conversation, and people are still coming at you with BS. I literally was about to go up there, and I was like, you know what? Who's on here?
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I don't have the strength. I don't have the strength to fight through this tonight.
Oh
I'm gonna just
man.
listen.
Yeah, I
I
got
was stupid enough to go up there. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I was about to say they on they shit. This, I'm not gonna do
I
it.
was watching some of it. I couldn't watch all of it. It
I
just
was like,
it
man,
got
I
too
ain't
messed
gonna do
up.
it tonight.
It got too messed up. I think Fatty, were you talking about when Fatty was on there when
Fatty
was
was
talking
on
about,
the side.
talking about how he made Fatty and how he was as big as like the
I
network
wasn't
and
even
stuff like
listening to
that.
that part. I just go up there to cool with the fellas sometimes and just talk on
Yeah.
the topic and like.
Yeah,
Then I'm like, no, they're not even talking about the topic, so ain't no way.
That's,
I
you
was
got to
like,
get
nah,
up
I
there
can't do
early.
it.
If you want to talk about the topic, you got to get in there within
You
the
got to
first
get up
2
there
hours.
early. But
Yeah.
I can no longer like force my
Yeah.
thing through. Sometimes I just want to have meaningful dialogue. Actually, you know what it is? If I think I can put it in perspective, sometimes I want to share my opinion so I can learn. I actually want to be challenged, just not in a stupid way.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
somebody to take my actual point and be like, you know what, Trigger Mike, you're looking at it from a one-dimensional view. Look at it like this. And me be like, oh man, I don't get that everywhere. So if that's not happening to me now, it's really distasteful for me.
I just figured out I'm just too old.
Yeah.
They ain't,
Well,
they ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing in common. They don't want to hear what I got to say at all. So I'm starting to learn, like, get in where you fit in. I need a. I know you're not my age though, Tricks. I'm not trying to put this on you either, but
Yeah.
Hey John, before you go, you say you're too old, but everybody can't stop reminding me that I'm too old to be up there. They say go to bed, man. They say go
Oh,
to
you
bed,
already
man.
know they're gonna get you. You already know you got
They
that
on
coming.
my ass all the time, man. Get your old ass out of here.
yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it.
But you
Yeah,
can't make too much sense either to the young people. You can't make too much sense. You know what it is though? Let me say, so sometimes it's good to just sit back and listen.
yeah,
Mr. Rich,
yeah.
sometimes older people can remind young people of the mistakes they made and how their life is not going to turn out. They get triggered. They get triggered because sometimes when you say things, especially we talk in absolutes,
Right.
and we say do this, this, and this for this result. If they skip the step, they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk. They're like, man, what this old head talk about? We not like that no more. Like, oh no, they skipped the step. That's why they don't want to talk to you. Because they
Yeah,
already
man,
did it the wrong way.
I'm learning.
All right. How you doing, Her Square? Welcome.
You're
got
on
me?
mute.
Okay,
Yeah.
You're on mute.
can you hear me?
We can hear you now. How you doing? What are your opening thoughts on the topic?
Well, see, a lot of people walk around with a lot of trauma, right?
Mhm.
And the reason why a lot of people don't know what a good woman is because they're used to seeing people in their fractured state, right? A lot of us have trauma. A lot of us have been hurt or hurt people have hurt people. And when you think of a good woman, you think of a woman who opens herself up to the world, sheltered a little bit, but normally it's under the leadership of a man. No, a woman can truly be herself when she feels safe and under the leadership of a man. Because there's a lot of women that are walking around, the single females you walking around, and it's like, have you ever seen the difference between a woman who is under the support and the shelter of a man compared to a woman who is not under the shelter and support of a man? It's a big difference. And they move differently. They just move differently. Women who are secure in a man's, I keep saying shelter, right? But they just move differently. A female who doesn't have that kind of shelter, a single female who is taking care of kids, it's like she has this fake facade on all the time because she doesn't feel safe putting herself out there with other human beings or other men. But if a woman feels safe, you will see the goodness in her if she's under the shelter and leadership of a man. She can relax and be the female that she is supposed to be if she's under the leadership of a man or the support of a man. So a lot of us have not seen a good woman unless you have seen her in her natural state of being under the guise of being under a man, right? Because I'm honest with myself. I'm fearful about this world when I'm by myself. But when I'm under the guise or under the support of a man, I can truly be myself. And therefore, you can see all of the good qualities that I have as a woman that he brings out of me because I'm not fearful of what is going to happen if I show these qualities. And most women walk around can't show these qualities because they're afraid or they can't because if I show you how vulnerable I can be, if I show you how nice I can be, if I show you a smile or I show you any kind of these things, I could get clobbered. But if I'm under the guise and support of a man, I'm more than happy to show that because I know he has my back. I know I can do this because I'm protected, right? So I'm saying a good woman, you can very rarely see a good woman unless she is falling into her femininity or she's falling into her natural role. So I'm saying that's my stance on where you see good women. You see good women when they are paired with husbands, paired with partners, and they have mutual respect. And she can be herself and he can have his natural role, right? You feel more in control of the world when you have a partner behind you, male or female. Men excel more and do more when they have a partner that supports them and he knows 100% when he walks out the door that she's behind him 100%. And when a female knows that a man is behind her 100%, under the support of him, she can be what she's supposed to be. And I tell you this story and then I get off, okay? I woke up after my husband died. I woke up in the middle of the night around 2:00 in the morning. I'm restless. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me, right? I'm feeling like I got to get up and I got to walk around. I got to do something, right? And then it hit me when I sat down on the couch. It hit me. I said, my husband is not here. He died. I don't have that same feeling of safety. I don't have the same feeling of safety that I had when he was alive. I lived under the cloud of his safety and now it's gone. And I feel like I'm lost. I don't even know what to do because he was not there. And a lot of women don't know the safety of that. I had it for 30 years. A lot of women don't know how to be, they don't know what it's like to be under the guy. A lot of these women say, well, I don't want to be under a man. I don't want him to tell me what to do. I don't want da 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 da. You don't understand what it's like to walk out into the world and know you have somebody, the safety of a human being that is protecting you, that is loving you, regardless of where you go, that you're under the leadership of that man. And a lot of women these days don't have that because they're single women, single mothers, blah, 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 whatever. And a lot of them is like, I don't need you. I don't want you to do this, that, and the third. I had a coworker come up to me the other day and he said, can you tell us whether you need a man or you want a man? I said, I need a man. What do you mean? Why would I walk around and say I don't need a man when I need a man to feel safe and to feel wanted? See, I'm one of those women that know what it's like to be under the leadership of a man for a long time. And I know what it's like for the past couple of years to be without it. and I sure as heck would not want to be without it. Okay. So I
Nice.
know the difference between how I was before I got married and how I was after I got married. Completely and totally different person that I was. I wasn't completely different, but I walked differently. I moved in the world differently. I moved as though I belonged to somebody. These women don't move like they belong to anybody. They move like they don't need to belong to nobody. But once you belong to somebody and you live under their ruling, and it's not, I hate to say that, but that's the only way I can express it. Once you live under the ruling of a man, you hate to live without it, because now you know the difference. And these women don't know the difference, and so therefore they can't express themselves completely as the good women I know they can be if they had the leadership of being under a man.
Miss Square, Miss
Yes.
Square.
Yes.
Don't be ashamed to use that word ruling, because what you experience, what you're talking, I hear the passion in your voice as you talk about your husband. That man, just when you talking about him, sound like a good man, somebody you respected, somebody who you love. So what you're talking about, don't be embarrassed to say the word ruling, because
No,
we
I
know
was trying not to cry.
we know exactly what you mean when you're saying it too. So
Well,
yeah,
I was just trying.
your
I was just
your
joking around.
testimony is powerful. Your testimony is powerful.
It's powerful, and I'm gonna thank you for not crying, because I'd have had to go off camera real quick, because I was like, hey,
we all get ready to go off camera.
I was right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Matter of fact, you can talk the whole show. We're gonna sit back and just listen.
No, I mean,
He may have been your husband, but I miss him.
We need the
That's
ladies
what I'm
to
saying.
understand. We need the ladies to understand that it's better to move when it's two people than it is to move when it's one. And we all have flaws, and we all have good points. We do. If you look at the world like that, some of us have good points, some of us have bad points, but we all have something that can be brought out if we pair up and do what we're supposed to do in our natural roles. Okay. A lot of women are used to being alone. I get it. You're used to being alone, but don't get used to being alone. Try to find your person that complements what needs to be complemented in your life. Otherwise, you're going to be alone. If you set your mind to be alone, you're going to be alone. You're going to stay alone because you're going to get comfortable being alone. And if you get comfortable being alone, it's hard to come out of that corner and love another human being. My whole thing is, if you love a person the way they walk through the door, you don't try to change them. You don't try to do this. You love them the way they walk through the door. If they have flaws, try to figure out which ones you can or cannot live with, because all of us have flaws. All of us have flaws. So if I have 10 flaws or you have 10, I'm going to try to live with the 7. I'm not going to worry about the 3. I'm going to try to live with the 7 because I want to learn to live with another human being. These people out here don't want to learn to live with another human being. You want to be alone? Okay, great. Some people deserve or want to be alone, but most of us don't want to be alone. And we cannot find that perfect 10. So if you cannot find the perfect 10, try to find the perfect 7 and work with those 7.
They will love that. They will love that 7. Not only does the 10 not exist,
right?
You get 0 because you passed up on so many 7s. So I told you I was having numerous conversations this weekend, and one of the conversations was about depression. And for some reason, I need y'all to understand this. A lot of women, when you tell them what's wrong with them, and I'm a traditionalist, I'm gonna say, you need to get married. You need to focus on your relationship with a man, and you need to tone it down on your focus on the career front, because women don't know really how to do anything in moderation. If you want to achieve, you want to achieve the whole thing. You don't want to make space for anything that actually brings you any real fulfillment.
Right.
right? So they don't want to make space there. She's like, oh, that's not what it is. I said, lady, you are 33. She was 33 years old. I told her what you are feeling now. I'm not a therapist. Let me not give you my clinical. I'm giving you what I know to be true from a traditional standpoint.
Right.
The reason you are depressed is because all of your Facebook posts that I see about you getting the job and all that are accompanied with your complaints of the job.
Right.
You see, she doesn't notice that we see it all, not just the congrats. We
Right.
see it all, your complaints. Now you're going home to an empty home, and then you have a reminder every day with every Instagram post of every single one of your friends that did it the right way, every single one of your family that did it the right way. Their complaints are different.
Right.
Every time you see a picture of your sister's kids, every time you see a picture of your best friend's kids and their husband, something in your body is telling you did it wrong. And at 33, this is why I'm telling her she's depressed. I said, you're depressed because you haven't even started.
Right.
You're not even on your way. That is depressing.
Right.
I was telling her, if I was this age, if I was 33 and I haven't even begun the process in which people are currently in, that would depress me. That's depressing, is it not? So that's what they more and more women are going to experience as they put off the feeling like, no, it's not that. I just need. Have you ever realized that all they try to do is achieve things for fulfillment, but it's always
I was born in that
the bar
generation.
always keep going higher and higher and higher and higher. All I need is a
born in that
master's degree, and I'm gonna be good.
I was born in that generation, and when I went away to college, right? And when I came home from college one time and I said, Mom, I don't want to go to college. I want to get married. And she's like, no, you better not come home, and you better not come home, right? And I was like, I want to quit, and I want to get married. You know, I had no boyfriend. I didn't have any, nothing. And she was like, you better not come home and marry. You know, the minute I graduated, I was like 22, 20, 23. I found a husband. And my husband was barely made it out of high school. I got 4 degrees. My husband was a garbage man and a correction officer. And I always outdid him money wise. Only when I was pregnant did he outdo me with money, but I always outdid him. So when women around here say, I don't want to marry a garbage man, or I don't want to marry a bus driver, and I don't want to do, you don't know what you want until you look that person in the face and say, just because he don't make as much money as I make doesn't make him less worthy or more. It just makes him what he is. And my husband never, not one day on this planet, looked at me and said, I make less money than you. I just don't, we just can't get along. He never once said that. Never once. So when they run around and these ladies say, well, I want to go to school and I want to do that. It's not too late, ladies. It's not too late. I got married early. I mean, I got married when I was 23. The minute I was out to college, I was like, oh, okay, I got to find me a husband. Because this navigating this world is not working for me and I'm alone. But I knew that when I was 17 that I wanted to be married, have kids, da-da-da. I knew that instantly. I wanted to go to school, but I also knew I wanted a husband. Quick, fast, in a hurry. So I got it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed married for 30 plus years. So women out there, they say, well, I don't need to get married. I need to do this. Well, you spending your time doing nothing. I understand you got to make money. I understand you got to do this, that, and the third. But you also have to make time to find a mate and a husband. And just because he doesn't make 6 figures doesn't mean he can't be a good man. My husband was a Pookie and a Ray Ray. I'm the first one to admit. My husband was a Pookie and a Ray Ray. He used to do all kinds of crazy stuff when he was a kid, all the way until he was 22, 23. He was a Pookie and Ray Ray, straight up. Because he told me the stuff he used to do. Like throw dummies off the bridge and hit people's cars, and he used to do stuff like that. My husband was a straight up Pookie and Ray Ray. Okay? But he stopped being a Pookie and Ray Ray after we got married. All right? He said the minute he met me, he knew I was going to be the one he wanted to marry, regardless of everything. He knew he had to change. He knew he had to change because I was not that type of person. So when they say I can't marry a Pookie and a Ray Ray, yes, you can, because a Pookie and Ray Ray can turn out to be the best thing in your life. And I was married to one for 30 years until he died when he was 53 years old.
So I think a lot of women try to marry or try to date the Pookie and the Ray Ray, and then we get told to choose better as women when things don't turn out right. So that's when we change our mindset from I no longer want to give somebody a chance,
Right.
because if things go wrong,
Right.
society's going to look at me and say, you shouldn't have given them a chance. And I brought this up yesterday on a different panel. And I was told, oh, you can give them a chance, but as soon as you see the signs, you need to leave. So
Well,
the question starts, what if they hide the signs that
mhm.
they're not going to be good to you? Like your husband was a Pookie and Ray Ray, but he was good to you.
Right.
So what if they're good to you all the way up until the point where they're not? They'll take their credentials and say, oh, well, these were the things that he did before you, so you
Right.
shouldn't have even given him a chance.
Right.
So
Well,
it's a
I don't
conflicting
think.
message to me.
So
Hold
the
on, I
answer to
don't
that,
think
the
he
answer
was a
to that though is
so he was a retired Pookie, because you said he was a garbage man and a correctional officer, correct?
Right.
So he was a reformed Pookie. He did the work on himself first.
Right.
So
I mean,
yeah,
we got married when we were, I was 22, 20, and he was 24, 25, right? I mean, he sort of still had that Pookie and Ray Ray mentality when we first got married.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because
so
But it's
no.
not the
there is no
same.
such thing as a retired Pookie.
Let me
Yeah, I'm glad you
chime in
said
on
that.
let me
Right.
chime in on this though, because I think when a kid is 22, 23, 24,
Right.
you're still developing who you are as a person.
Right.
You may have some traits as a Pookie and a Ray Ray, but you're still developing who you are as a character, as a person.
Right.
And so what it sounds like is she met him as a young kid.
Right.
He grew up and he realized, okay, this is what life is about. So
Right.
we had to be careful, like watching. That's why it's always good. One thing I want to say, I didn't never did say open statement.
Right.
One of the things I want to say is that women should be in a situation where there's someone that can help you see what a man is.
Right. 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 I mean,
Because
right.
you will deal with men who are Pookies and Ray Rays. You will deal with men who are just growing up and trying to figure out life, and when they figure out they're going to grow up. But it's
Right.
kind of hard for a 23-year-old, 24-year-old man to see what he is. But another man can look at him and see. That's why you to be a good woman. You do need a father figure to be in your life. You do need some brothers to be in your life to help you navigate this stuff. I'm not saying that you can't figure it out, but it makes it a whole lot easier in my
Right.
perspective.
Well, I was
Absolutely.
raised with mother, father, grandfather, grandmother. Everyone in my family has been married. I mean, my parents were married until they died. I was married till my husband died. My brother was married till he died. I've come from a long family of people being married.
So how did you
So
end
that
up with
makes
a Pookie?
that makes a
So-
Say what?
difference.
So, sister, let me just add one thing real quick.
Yeah.
What we're talking about, bringing it back to the title of the show, is
Right.
the power of what a good woman could do for a man.
Right. Right.
That's what you're describing,
Right.
right? You
I
know,
mean,
so
I
and he was
assume
just good enough to recognize it.
Right. I assume that I
Oh,
rubbed off on him. I mean, a little bit. I mean, he also. I mean,
I
he
can
was just
promise you,
wild.
I can not
Right.
even
I can
being there.
absolutely
It
promise
sounds
you.
like your family may have been a big influence on how you're gonna move too. Because if all those were married,
Yeah.
a man who sees all these other men around,
Mhm.
he knows there's a challenge for him. Either he meet that challenge or he has to walk away.
Right. Right.
And he
he-
has to have that desire to be better
Yeah.
himself. He has to have that desire to grow himself.
Right.
So absolutely having someone encouraging you to do the right things and grow and be better, and they're also growing and not really chastising you but trying to help you.
And
When you
showing
have
example.
that,
Right.
exactly, and showing examples, when you have that, obviously that's going to aid in your personal growth, but it's your job. And a lot of
Right.
times we hear the statement, oh yeah, a good woman can make a man like, oh, what I said yesterday, a good woman can make any man a good husband. And
No.
that's the mindset that a lot of women have, and that's wrong. You cannot. He has to want to be a good husband
Right.
himself.
Right.
no,
You
so
can help
so
that.
Can I
here's
ask a question?
here's a weird part in here. Let me just add this in there. Remember the monologue. All women think they're good women. That's the bad part.
Fact.
So there is a lot.
Right.
Good women are transformative agents. Yes, sometimes good women give themselves, their body, their time, attention to the wrong man.
Right.
But when we talk about what a man is willing to do for a woman, period, like I will for this one. I don't even know how, but I'm gonna figure that is what a man will do for an actual wife, an actual good woman.
Right.
Right. That is what he will do to preserve their relationship. So that's another
That's what I
important
meant.
point to meet on this topic. Let's
Right.
who was first? Was it Triple Black or Kasim? I think it was.
No, I just wanted to when you were talking about the women, complaining a lot, it just reminded me of something that my grandmother used to say. She says, be careful what you say because a complaint is a perverted prayer. And as we know, God listens to all of us. So even the complaining that we're doing, that's a perverted prayer. So when she said that, it really got me thinking like, I don't want to add any more misery to my circumstance. I want to bring more joy, more peace, and more life into my circumstance. So I need to cut down on the amount of complaining that I do.
Right.
Oh, I just recognize Trey on the panel. It might not be a good show for Trey.
It might not. He gonna. It might not.
Right.
What
Go
up,
ahead,
Trey?
Triple Black.
You had me laughing on that monologue. I've had this conversation before with some friends. It's like when you say all women think they're good women. If you put 10 women in the room and you ask every one of them if they can't get an ex back, they all think every ex wants them back. Like,
Right.
I've never met a woman that doesn't think that she can get somebody in the past back at least one time. I mean, they all think this. You know what I'm saying? They can go. It can be 10 of them. They can get every single one of them back. And the thing about it is, I think it's men's fault in a way because we've lowered the bar collectively so low to where box. I mean, and the thing about it is they say this all the time is they conflate relationship love and marriage love and all that type of stuff.
Yep.
If somebody will sleep with me, that means I'm a good woman or I'm a good catch. No, I mean the threshold for us to sleep with with a woman is so low. I mean, I'm sorry.
What?
Freudian slip. The threshold is low, and you guys make sure that you lie while you have sex with her, making her think this is deeper than it is.
Yo,
and then
hold
after
on.
you're like, I
Fantasy,
never said I wanted
fantasy.
you.
So I've thought about this pretty long, and what I realize is that
Right.
some men, and I think it's most men aren't lying. The women are lying to themselves. Because I remember going.
Nah,
How many men have you had sex with?
Hold on, fantasy. Hold on,
How
fantasy.
many men have you had
What
sex
I
with?
remember. Hold on, fantasy. What I remember.
How many men?
No, this is what I'm saying. What I remember is telling a woman straight up, because this is the thing. We understand as men, like once you've done it to maybe 2 women and then you realize the shitstorm that ensued after the fact, now you tell a woman, hey, look, I'm not looking for no relationship. You just doing it smooth like that. You're like, hey, I ain't trying to get it. So now that you rejected
one
her,
or 2 times.
No, now that you've rejected her, she wants to make herself your equal. So she like, boy, ain't nobody trying to get in no relationship with you. I'm just trying to get some women are extremely arrogant about sex now. They believe they can do it without feeling, without emotion, and without attachment. So you go into it doing what men do. And of course, men are going to say, all right, well, shit, I'm bored. You can come through. And then they catch feelings and think the way to your heart is through your bed.
Nah,
that's what women are doing today.
Nah,
It is more rare for
lying,
that
Trigger.
case than
Whatever lie Fantasy Island wants me to tell her, I'm going to tell her exactly what she want to hear. I'm lying.
They all lie though, Trey. That's the problem. They will all lie. Actually, it's not a problem.
Fantasy.
Whatever you want to hear.
It's not like it's just a man thing. We lie.
I'm gonna tell you right back. Whatever you
I'm
want to
just
hear, I'm gonna tell
saying
you.
we all lie. So it makes it that much harder if the guy isn't actually a good liar. It makes it that much harder for you to know if he actually wants you.
Do you think every man actually lies about every relationship he gets into?
No, I don't think every man lies. about,
thought.
well,
Okay.
I don't think every man lies about his intentions going into the relationship. I don't think that at all. I know
Okay.
men
I thought I
that
heard you.
come
I
out
thought I
and
heard you.
say, oh yeah, I only want sex. But those ones aren't the problem, because we can easily be like, we're not on the same page, or yes, I want to have sex with you. I don't care that you just want sex. You're very attractive. Let's do this. So that's completely different from a situation where you actually want to be in a relationship. You're trying to date, to find someone, and they lie, and just because you look cute on your date, they're lying.
There's no man on this planet that can walk up to a sober woman that he finds attractive and say, I want to smack your ass and pull your hair and put my thumb in your butt. And for her to actually be okay with it, it doesn't work that way.
If she's
not in your dating, not in your dating world.
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way for whores. I mean, for 304.
I said, if I walked up to a professional woman, and I said, listen, I find you attractive.
I'm not a professional woman. What did you say?
I said, if I walked up to a professional woman, a woman who had a college degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, that I thought was attractive, and I said to her, listen, I find you extremely attractive. My name is Trey, and I'm gonna cut to the chase here. There's a few things I want to do. I got this little machine at home. I like to lock you up on it. There's no way. She's not going for it. She's not going for it. Instead, but if I tell her, hey, look, I like to take you out to dinner. I like to get to know you. What's your favorite food? What's your favorite? If I play this game, guess what's going to happen within the first two? Guess what's going to happen within the first 2 dates?
Why don't you actually want to get to know her and see if she could be your wife? Why? You just said she's
because y'all are boring, Fantasy Island. There's nothing
it's
to
boring.
y'all.
Hang on. Hold up.
You gotta keep that to yourself.
No. Hang on. We're not doing that. Hang on for a second. First of all, it's not true. It's not true that we lie. It's not true that we lie to get some.
I'm going to
That's
answer
an
the
old
question,
trope.
Dragon. She asked me the question. I'm going to answer it.
Lie.
I absolutely lie. I will continue to lie. The truth of the matter is,
that's
the
him.
truth of the matter is,
pushing back on what you're saying right now.
The truth of the matter is,
it's true.
Well, Fantasy, these guys get on these panels and they don't tell the truth. So let's be honest.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Okay? I'm going to tell you the truth, Fantasy. I will lie to you and I will tell you anything that you want to hear because I find you attractive and there's only one thing I want to do to you. I don't care what your favorite color is. I don't care what school you went to. I don't care what your degree is. I don't care about any of that. I don't care what your kids do. I don't care about none of that. There's one thing I want to do to you and that's all I want to do. And whatever it takes for me to get that, that's exactly what I'm going to say and that's what I'm going to do. Now, the woman that I actually find intriguing, that I actually want to get to know, that I actually want to put that energy and effort in, I'm going to take a different approach on her. But if immediately, I know within the first 5 to 10 seconds, whether you're in the sex only box or I'm going to vet you for marriage box, within the first 10 seconds, I can tell by the way you dress. I can tell by your hair. I can tell by your clothes. I can tell by the way you carry yourself, whether or not I'm actually going to invest my time in you to actually get to know you. Otherwise, you're going to get put in one box, and that's all I'm going to go for. So these guys can get on these panels and lie all they want to. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I'm going to lie to you, Fantasy. I'm going to tell you everything you want to hear.
The thing is, I know that you're going to lie, and I know the majority of men are going to lie when I go on a date. Yes.
Not a true statement.
Yes.
Lie about what? Hang on. Lie about what? What are we lying about?
They're going to lie about wanting more than sex from me.
We're gonna lie if that woman only has box to offer. If we're only trying to trick her out of her box, we're gonna lie about it. If we're gonna tell the truth, if we like her, it's gonna come through on our actions. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then how will you know?
Hang on.
Let me.
Okay, so
if I can chime in just a little bit.
Trigger.
It's starting
to go left.
Let me just say this real quick. It's a real possibility that I could like you, but I just want the box. Right. So
that's what I'm talking about.
Hold on. But the truth of the matter is, I'm gonna still do what I need to do to get some box. I might like you. I mean, all the girls back in that day when I used to do this kind of shit, I never really left a woman mad at me because I was truthful a little bit, but I was always about the box. It was just
that's what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to demonize y'all, but when I'm going out,
let me ask you,
I assume that's the case.
Let me ask you a question, Fantasy, because there's an angle we don't really hit this from. There's an angle we don't hit this from. Are women entitled to sex? Are they entitled to have sex and have their needs met? Are they entitled to that?
That doesn't make no one's
Well,
entitled to sex.
so why is it that if we don't say a man can try to have sex, that in fact that's our natural purpose. We are going to try to get that release. In fact, if we don't nut, our body gonna do it for us in our sleep. So we're trying to get that release our entire life. Isn't it then on the woman to say, if I can't get a relationship or I can't tell a man is serious until he commits to me with the highest level of commitment, wouldn't it be smart for more women to think they should preserve their bodies? Because we never really talk about it.
They do try,
you're saying
and
it
they
from
get
an angle.
crude.
You're saying it from an angle that sounds like, well, I'm a woman and I'm going to get my rocks off. So you men need to have good intentions while I'm trying to get my rocks off. That's what it sounds like. When
that doesn't make any sense at all. I said someone that is actually looking for a relationship. I didn't mention that the woman actually wanted to get her rocks off.
I'm
saying, I'm assuming
exactly.
That you want to only have sex, not have a relationship.
Exactly. I agree.
That's what I assume
now,
going
what
in.
I'm saying is, if a woman actually wants that relationship, wouldn't preserving herself weed out the undesirables very quickly?
Yes, and that's what we do. We go on date after date after date. Do y'all think that we sleep with all? We go on date after date after date. Do you think that
you think we just give it up to anybody that walks up to us? Is that what y'all think? We just give it up to anybody?
You know how many men we get so many propositions for sex. We get so many. Right. Just walking out the door. I walked out the door in this outfit to go to my daughter's graduation. It's a white dress.
We try to be discerning.
Wait.
You went around the kids with that on?
It's a dress.
You went around the kids with that on?
It's a nice dress. It's a nice dress. But coming from
I had a jacket on too.
Hang on for a second.
I had a jacket on.
Hold up
I had a jacket on.
Coming from another side.
Let me tell you something.
I had a jacket on.
This is how men become stepfathers. Exactly what you're doing right now. This is how men become stepfathers. Because they sit there and they look at you and you're looking like that in that dress, and they're not realizing all the pain that's about to come afterwards after they get the box. That's the problem.
Why do y'all think it's going to be painful? Because you guys are used to traumatic relationships? Because most of my relationships have been really good.
Don't compare everybody to what Trey is saying. Trey is speaking for Trey. Hold on. Trey is speaking honest about how Trey feels about how he sees the world. And Trey has the right to speak how he speaks, how he sees the world. But what we cannot do is let Trey compare every man to Trey. Because everybody doesn't value what Trey values. You have to find out what men value and then move with that type of what he values.
But Trey is the one we're trying to avoid. So we're trying to make sure we don't get tricked by a Trey. That's the problem. We want to. And the way that what happens when we get tricked by him?
All right.
And the way that happens is, and the way you protect yourself is, what makes a good woman is a woman who has a lot of men around her. When I say men, I mean fathers, brothers, and uncles.
Why are you trying not to be tricked with me when I'm the only one who's going to tell you the truth? I'm the only one that's honest on these things.
No, you just said that you're going to lie to me. You just said. You didn't even realize he's a liar.
Even that statement is a lie.
I'm going to lie to you.
I'm the only one that tells the truth. That's a lie.
I'm telling you, Fantasy, I'm telling you that I'm going to lie to you. I'm not lying about lying.
Okay, I get you. They're going to lie. You're not going to tell me. You're going to lie, but you told me you're going to lie.
If Fantasy said, yeah, Trey, I'm interested in you, Trey, I would look at you, Fantasy, and say, what do you want me to tell you? Because I'm going to tell you exactly what you want to hear. Right. I'm not going
to sit here and let Trey continue to shoot his shot.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Give me a minute. Hang on, Fantasy. Hang on. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Yo, Trey. Hold up. We heard you.
All of these guys, well, you're gonna keep hearing me.
Well, we coming from a different community now. We come from a different perspective.
One mic.
All these guys want to talk about from the 1950s. Most of them are not dating in 2023. They are giving you stories from 20 years ago. Wow. They don't understand the market today. And that's why they have these old-time 1800 convictions about the way things should be. They have no clue on what it takes. Listen.
I kind of agree with him, though. Only a little bit.
Fantasy. Give these guys an opportunity to go and cold approach a woman today. I guarantee they cannot do it. I guarantee they cannot walk up to a woman today in today's market and get her phone number. They will get
contrary to your belief, these older gentlemen definitely be shooting their shot at me all the time.
But tell them don't use any money. Tell them
don't gonna use money.
Don't use money.
Hang on, hold on.
Hang on. Let me just say why he's wrong. Remember now, us old heads, all we would lived with was cold contacting women. We didn't have no apps.
In the 60s.
Man. Are you kidding
in the
me?
60s.
We had to go on a appointment.
We never
to talk to women, man. Are you kidding me?
Hey,
Get out of here.
I got a question for you, Arpain. You approach a woman. You cold approach a woman today, and you go up to her and you say, "Hey, my name's Payne, da 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 da," and you say, "Can I get your number?" And she says, "No, but you can have my Instagram." How do you reply?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't say. I was just first thing when I talk to women, I just say hello first.
No,
I got see how they respond to that.
I skipped ahead.
Wait a minute, I'm just going to tell you. If she tells me, I'll give you my Instagram. I would just take her Instagram. I wouldn't think nothing of it.
Right.
I wouldn't think anything of it.
I just give him my Instagram.
Guess what, Payne? You'll never hear from her again.
Yes, you will.
Doesn't matter. If he does that to
you'll never hear from her again. Instagram is the first way of her telling her she's not interested. See, you don't even know. That's what I'm talking about. That's the point I'm trying to
make.
Trey, I'm
coming from not interested.
Go ahead.
It's not wrong, fam. If I was out here and I did that cold approach, a lot of women, ask me for my Instagram, and you know what? They hit me up because they see my Instagram is popping. They see my Instagram got 385,000 followers. They see what my lifestyle is about, so they hit me up immediately. So that's not true. Not all of us old heads are out the game or don't know what the heck they're doing. That's a false statement, fam.
And there's a different, and there's a completely different.
He's talking about.
Hold up, there's a completely different game to be played. All right, there just is. Not all of us are doing the cold approach trying to get someone's Instagram.
It's not a woman who's interested. She's going to use you. We both know that.
But so Trey, I agree with Trey. On 90% of the things you said, Trey. The Instagram thing works though. The Instagram thing is a play.
Take social media out of it. Take social media out of it. What do you have?
But here's
you can get phone numbers, but I'm definitely against the Enter the Dragon. I don't think you know what the hell you're talking about.
No, I do. I
agree with you, Trey, that our pain is way too old to know what the game is looking for out here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm 40. I'll be 41. I'm 41 years old. And I'm currently dating a 21-year-old. That doesn't happen overnight without game. That doesn't happen without game.
Listen,
that does not happen without game.
You need money and game, brother. You need a lot.
Yeah, I live in a house and I drive a new car. Yeah, I got money.
Wait a minute.
But you need it though. You need it though.
So what?
You absolutely need it.
We all need money.
I don't.
But see, here's
you don't need money. You living at home with your parents? Is that what it is?
I don't need it to get women though.
Right. It doesn't matter. You gotta have game. It doesn't matter. You really don't need a penny or a dime.
But here's the problem with
gotta turn my damn show into Fight Club. I knew I should have mentioned
that.
A game.
It's up to you, man. Straighten it out.
A game, right? It has become a game to find a mate. Why is it a game to find a mate? We're not trying to play games out here. Aren't you trying to find a mate?
I think that's on women. I think women make it a game because y'all don't like the guy that genuinely likes y'all back. You know what I'm saying? So y'all make it the game. Y'all want the guy that's unavailable. Y'all want the guy that's not coming.
You gonna go next. Your rebuttal's next. Go ahead, Prototype.
But y'all don't want the guy that genuinely likes y'all. You know what I'm saying? So y'all make it a game. When the guy comes to you genuine, I like you, I want to spend time with you. Y'all busy chasing some dude that don't want y'all back. You know what I'm saying? And wonder why y'all so heartbroken. And then y'all friends on the dude that actually like y'all. That's the problem. So y'all make it the game it is. We don't want to play the game. We want genuine family. We want all that. Y'all don't. Y'all want the game. Y'all here playing for something else.
No.
Man, listen,
that's absolutely true.
Most of these women won't even pay you any attention if you don't have a blue check mark, bro.
Trey,
you don't have a blue check mark.
Most of us can't get in contact. Okay, moving on.
You go.
So the thing is, you're right about the immature women. Right. But you go through that stage and you grow out of it, and you guys all want to pigeonhole us in that stage, like we sometimes pigeonhole y'all into your little 304 stage y'all go through when y'all are hot and popping and young. So we pigeonhole y'all like, oh, y'all can never grow out of that. Y'all were always like that. That's who you are, and y'all are doing the same. oh, y'all play over the good guys, and then when you get older, you want to act like you want the good guy now. We don't want you anymore. Everyone goes through their stages where they're messing up. Everyone grows. Hopefully,
I mean, so that's y'all fault for not realizing when y'all value, when y'all have y'all best asset up there, right?
So why is it that
y'all are playing, and then y'all get old and wither a little bit, and then y'all want a good guy.
So why is it
after
that
y'all get old, and we're like, we don't want that now.
But why is it that we have
Am I
to
old and withering?
figure out what we want?
Say that again.
Why do we have to figure out what we want early?
Your values change over time. Your values and what you want change over time.
I'm not saying fantasy. I'm not saying you're old and withering.
30 years. That's
I'm not
a
saying.
lie.
I'm not saying you're
your
old
wife
and withering.
less
Fantasy.
valuable.
But
your wife isn't less valuable because she's old, right?
But there's a younger version of you. And the older we get,
when I get older, I'm not going to be less valuable to my man.
Listen, the more we gain, the more men gain. We didn't realize that there's a million fantasies out there for us. You know what I'm saying? Like when we were coming up, there was one fantasy that we could see, that we could try to attain. She didn't like us, and then we start making money, and we're like, oh, there's fantasies everywhere. So now you're not special.
There's fantasies everywhere.
No, I'm talking about girls of your quality, right?
No, you don't know my quality, and that's the problem. You look at me.
I was giving you the highest value. I was giving you the highest value of whatever you might think you are.
But you don't know my quality, and that's the problem.
Whatever you think you are.
That's the problem. You guys give the woman, but you guys, I'm making my point. You guys give the woman that looks like me the highest value, period, even though she could be a 3 in personality.
But that matters to us.
She could be. But that's what I'm saying. But you look at a woman that's pretty and you're like, oh, you're the highest value. She may not be the highest value just because she's a pretty girl.
I'm not just talking about I'm talking whatever you think you are, right? Whatever your career is, what your looks are, whatever you think is valuable for you. Once we start making money and becoming successful, there's more of yous, right? With your same credentials, with the education, with the whatever, and there might be a younger version. We're definitely going for the younger one. So that's what I'm saying. Like
you only have to get one. Y'all are saying that every time, threatening us, and y'all are still single. So just choose somebody is the point that we're making. You're so valuable. You have all these options.
Fantasy. Let me ask you a question.
Choose a fantasy. You don't need to choose all of us. Y'all say you want to be monogamous. So choose a fantasy. Wait one second, Trey. Choose a fantasy and settle down and get married.
There you go.
Let me ask you a question, Fantasy.
Yes.
If God told you that you could have one meal for the rest of your life, you had to eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the rest of your life. However, you could take as much time as you wanted to figure out what meal that was. How long would you take to figure out what meal you would eat for the rest of your life for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? How much time would you take?
So only men get that option?
I'm just asking the question of Fantasy. How long would you take, Fantasy?
Naturally, her square, yes. It is naturally men that get that option.
How long would you take to choose the meal that you can only eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the rest of your life?
I would probably just impulse choose something I like right now.
And that's why men are leaders, because I would take forever. I would pick out every meal that I possibly could. If you're telling me that I'm going to be with one woman, because to me, marriage, there is no divorce unless there's abuse involved. There is no divorce. So if I'm getting married, I'm doing it one time with one woman. So if you're telling me that I'm going to get married, I'm going to eat one meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the rest of my life, I'm going to take as much time as I need to figure that out. There is no rush. There is no clock. There is no time period. I will figure it out as
No, you're wrong. You spent your whole life not eating. That's what you're telling me. Until you choose yes, that's the point. You spent your whole life. These men are in their 40s, haven't had kids, haven't been married. You have spent your whole life hungry.
Fantasy, you have to listen.
I have
the time before you choose what meal you want, you can eat whatever you want until you figure it out. I can eat any meal I want until I figure it out. You just added
that stipulation.
Okay.
I said it from the beginning. What are you talking about?
Hold on, y'all. Order in the
okay. I have until I die to choose which one is my favorite.
Because I'm hungry as shit now because of y'all. I'm like, God damn, what are we eating?
Street trigger Mike.
Hold on. Let me say this to the thing. So, Fantasy, you said that why aren't men choosing? I think I know, because you're right. So if men actually do want to be married, men do want companionship the same way women do, why aren't men choosing? I think for a black man, it's extremely hard to choose. The reason why is because it's extremely hard to find the good woman. Too many black women do not disassociate themselves from the behaviors and ideologies of the bad women. You cannot be a quote unquote good woman, still promoting 304 behavior, single motherhood, and all this type of stuff, but then be like, I'm separate. You don't want to disassociate yourself from that. We won't be able to tell who's who. I think that is a unique Black woman problem, because when I look at other ethnic groups of women, they literally be like, hoes over there, wives over here, everybody in the middle in the Black community.
That isn't true at all. You see the lady guys. You see the women that actively wait. You see the women that actively push against 304 culture. I am not one of those women.
Hold on. They're either very few and far in between, and they get they get their ass whooped. The Preciouses get their ass whooped for what they say. The Chantels, Simones get their ass whooped for what they say. And every other woman is like a nice looking, maybe she's married material, but they literally contradict themselves every other podcast. One podcast is about women need to be married. The other podcast, they titties showing through their goddamn bra. So we don't.
Let me ask a question to the ladies.
So why is that? So why do you guys pretend that women who have their titties showing through their bra aren't getting married? Why are you pretending that there aren't men that
I'm not going to be nice.
Why are you pretending there aren't men that want their wives to dress exactly like I dress and keep looking like I look, because they
does anybody want to take this one? Because I don't think
I definitely like the way Fantasy dressed, and I would want her to keep dressing like that.
Make sure that they want to have sex with you for the rest of their lives.
Fantasy, if you were my wife and you wore that to the kids' graduation, you would have a long conversation.
I wore a
jacket. You can't make her.
I wore a jacket.
You wore a jacket. Was the jacket zipped?
No, it wasn't buttoned, but it still was covering my shoulders. It was covering my shoulders.
There's a difference in how
we looking at. Your shoulders ain't what we looking at.
You didn't wear that to a graduation, Fantasy. Did you? You didn't wear that to a family.
There's a difference in how we treat you when we're trying to date you, when we're trying to court you, and when we're trying to have sex with you, and when we're trying to marry you.
It's not a slutty dress. Look,
tell her she looked good and leave it alone.
Okay,
what? You didn't wear that to the graduation, did you? You did not wear that to the graduation. Come on, baby.
It looks fine.
Come on now.
It matches the chair and the microphone. It looks good.
Trip, man.
It looks good.
It is not a slutty dress.
That is not appropriate. That's a date night dress. That's a date night.
You ain't getting invited to no PTA meeting.
You ain't wear that to the
I had a jacket on.
You ain't getting invited to no wives club meeting.
Hell no. Hell no.
Guys, I had a jacket on.
No, you didn't know.
Was it a see-through jacket?
A see-through jacket. It was a jean
Put it in the
jacket.
chat if it's not appropriate.
It was a jean jacket.
Oh, Fantasy, you was trying to get your kid into private school or something? You were trying to get your kid into private school. You went there for an interview with your dad.
I actually thought this was a nice dress, so I'm really shocked that you guys are like, oh my God. Like, I got a lot of compliments while you're saying inappropriate dress.
Hold up.
You got a compliment from me right now.
It's a beautiful dress. It's
her daughter's principal. Her daughter's principal said that mama sure does care about her school.
Her principal is a woman, but she could still say that.
I was thinking the same thing. What you talking about?
Was the jacket at least zipped up? Was it zipped up?
No, it was a jean jacket. It was a jean. It was just a jean jacket. It was nice. You did
care about your schooling, boy.
What did your dude say?
It was only the pink guys.
You look beautiful.
What did your dude say?
I mean, I know you look good. I'm sure you look good. We just saying, like, in terms of.
The question isn't about whether or not you're attractive.
I always wear what I feel comfortable with. That's what I do, her square.
The issue is that whether or not it's appropriate for the venue you were at.
Exactly.
And it's
but that's the thing. You're telling me now that it's not appropriate. But when I put it on, I said,
if I was your man and you walked down the steps in that
when I went out,
I would have told you to go back upstairs and change your clothes.
My man never tells me to change my clothes. He loves everything I wear. He thinks I look good every time.
I'm not going to tell you what that
way
is.
off.
I'm going to leave that alone.
It's
Jungle Fever.
Hold on, y'all. Fantasy, are you religious?
No.
Do you plan on being married again one day?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to steal this one from Myron Gaines, y'all. So I'm gonna cite my source here.
Okay.
At your wedding, are you comfortable with the first 20 pictures of your Instagram being showed saying, look at this beautiful bride? Are you comfortable with everybody, your family, your uncles, your dad, everybody, looking at those first 20 pictures as an accurate representation of you and who you are as a person?
My family knows who I am. They would be like, that's her.
Yes or no?
That's her. Yeah.
Didn't she have an OnlyFans?
Okay.
Yes. My family knew when I was starting my OnlyFans. They know who I am.
I was gonna say, okay, then that's who you are. I was gonna say that's
who I am. I'm not ashamed.
Couldn't be my
first question or not?
That's just fantasy.
You gonna cover all that up.
Just to put this out there, there are environments where you can walk up and cold approach a woman and say, hey, I'm looking for sex and sex only, and she'll be cool with that. There are environments that I navigate where that's possible. It's not some out of the box thing. Now on the street may be different, but in different dating environments, yeah, that's completely possible. If you're honest with a woman, I just want sex and that's what it is. Yeah, she can be down for that.
Yeah, and everyone be like,
hey, I got a question.
$225.
Do you think you're
talking about sex parties?
Do you think you're advertising right now, Fantasy?
Yes and no.
Fantasy, do you think you're advertising?
Are you considered a good woman?
Paying for the
I'm not
buns don't count,
advertising
bro.
right now, but I'm going to advertise when I get permission.
No, I'm saying right now, the way you're dressed, would you consider that you're advertising for men?
I'm advertising for my show.
Let me ask.
Is that a yes?
But yes, men will definitely like this. Come to Fantasy Island.
All right, let me ask you, because one of the unique, and this is going to the topic of good women. One of the things that we don't tackle enough, because Trey said, "Are you advertising to men?" Do you think that women who kind of dress a little more provocative, a little sexy, do you think this is a catalyst for unwanted behavior? Meaning, are you more likely to cheat because you're always getting male attention? Do you think that this is synonymous with women being unfaithful? What do you think? Anybody?
I absolutely think the more attention you get, the more people trying to pressure you to get sex, the more likely one of them is going to match what you're looking for at the time in the heat of the moment, and you're going to fall off.
But it's what you're looking for.
So, Fantasy, do you think you're going to fall off?
You just
I'm
don't
not gonna fall off.
Shit.
But we just don't fall for anything.
Yo,
I've had my fun. I'm ready to be his wife. I've had my fun. I was married through most of my 20s. I only needed a year of fun for me to know I don't want to be back outside with them. I want to be at home with my husband.
Fantasy, you capping right now.
I want to be at home with my husband. I want to give my husband everything he wants. I realized that everything my first husband was asking for should have been easy to give, because dating, it's fun if you're just trying to go out and have like new experiences. It's not fun when you're trying to find someone that actually likes you. So my man, I'm trying to stay with my man. I want to be married forever.
I don't believe a word that just came out of your mouth.
Her man also said the same thing.
So you think the way she dresses is the way she is?
See, so I'm not even just doing it on the women's end. I'm actually talking about what is necessary for discipline for men. So I'm taking something that I actually preach to men. So one of the things we talk about in these spaces a lot is de-discipline. And my stance is that de-discipline actually doesn't exist. What does exist is knowing, like understanding the nature of men itself. So when people ask me and say, do you cheat on your wife? I say, absolutely not. They be like, look, he has de-discipline. I say, I do not. Because if a beautiful, gorgeous woman rubbed her hand across my pants, guess what? Something gonna happen. Something gonna get active. Okay, I did not stop liking gorgeous women just because I'm married. I did not stop noticing them. In fact, now that I know I can only look and touch, I think I look at more ass. So, look, it's a thing. But what I do is not tempt myself. I don't put myself in situations with women to do things like that. So one of the no. Listen. One of the things that you can't do. What I'm saying is that a big part of men cheating is men making it available for the women that are attracted to them to talk to them, get an intimate space with them, corner them at work, do all that type of stuff. So what I'm saying is, if you dress like this, Fantasy, and dudes is all in your face all the time, and your dude just piss you off, you might,
I do have options to go have sex like every other woman does.
Right.
But I don't need to go have my man. The sex is good. I'll say that. So I am fine, even when I'm mad at him, having angry sex. So it doesn't matter. We're having sex. That's not a problem for us. So I don't have to go out in the world and be like, I don't even like having sex with this man. And now he doesn't piss me off. I'm going to go have sex with somebody else. I don't like that.
As a man who's
turn your urges down,
as
Trey.
a man
We can see a thought cloud bubble with you
many married
fantasizing.
women, and being the degenerate that I am, sleeping with the amount of married women that I have, I can tell you, Fantasy, that all I have to do is catch you at the right time on the right day.
Thank you.
That's all I have to do.
Do you know
that's Trigger Mike? That's why I don't put myself in those situations.
Yeah. You know how many girls
you literally in the situation now. Look at them things. Every dude on this panel has named both of them.
What are they gonna do? Fly to Maryland and steal me from my man? We are on a panel.
Every dude right now.
Hang on,
I haven't met anyone on a panel yet.
I got this one, Trigger. Guess what, Fantasy? I'm already in Maryland. So I'm already close to you.
You're just gonna make his case look bad. No,
I'm already.
Okay, so he's already in Maryland. Okay,
catch you at the right
he's
time,
already in Maryland. But I already hate his. I already don't like this man.
It doesn't matter.
I already don't like him. So I'm not going to. I already don't like this man.
I can't work my way around that.
I already don't like him. He can't work his way around that. I don't like him.
Hold on. Do you know I will believe a woman more when she's, like I said, speaks to her nature? I will believe a woman more if she says, I can't be around you and I'm not going to cheat on my man. Like, but when a woman makes an absolute statement, like, listen to me, every dude on this panel can remember literally smashing the hell out of a woman that hated him.
That's
okay.
Exactly.
I hate you. I don't like you. It don't work.
No. They do that for men that they find attractive.
The women that I knew I weren't going to smash are the women who avoided the hell out of me. Like, get away from me. No,
but
let me
she
get out of
thought
here.
you were attractive. Exactly. That's a difference. When your body says, oh, girl, you want to have sex with them? Those are the men you avoid. I met two of them in my life where I was like, oh, shit. I couldn't be in a personal space with this man.
Wait. The laws of attraction does not comport to logic. It just doesn't. The laws, like there is a woman. There is a woman. When Mike mentioned it, there was a woman that I just came to mind who we don't like each other. We're in the same space. She comes over, all the time. Back in 2009. And we argue about stupid stuff, and she's just, she's getting ready to leave, and I'm like, yeah, get the hell out. And then we wind up like having sex for like
10 minutes,
hours, and then we're getting dressed. And it's like, yeah, and then just shut up, and then I'll see you next time. And that happened for like 2 years.
Found you attractive. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
I don't know what that is.
Found you physically. I'm telling you what it is, and you're not listening.
Right.
Found you
because you're
unavoidable.
You have a young woman telling you, and then you have an older woman telling you. That's exactly what.
And the men are like, the women don't know what that is. When we're listening, things we don't know. And when we say, I don't know, y'all get mad.
Not all of us are arguing. Not all of us are arguing.
There's also this thing about passion, and there's also this thing about passion and angry sex that both of your.
Where do you get that passion if you don't find them attractive?
No, I understand. I get it. What I'm saying is during the sex, there's a different kind of energy level than two people who like each other, love each other, and respect each other, than two people who completely just don't like each other and don't get along. Right. Those dynamics are kind of different. That's all I'm saying. But the laws of attraction are the same.
Have to be attractive for us to be having sex.
I get it.
You know the proof of that when you go ask most women how they met their husband. I think at least a quarter of the time you will hear somebody say, "Oh, I couldn't stand is that like that." I've literally heard a quarter of marriage stories start off that way. I didn't like this nigga. I thought he was funny. Look, and next thing you know, you bending it over, taking that nigga nut. I don't want to hear this. All right.
No, I met my husband in a bar. I turned around, looked at him, he smiled at me, and we were together for 30-some years. It was just an attraction. That instant, it happened.
Well, my man was sitting in my chair. He was a contract, and I was like,
her square. Pookie's
sitting in my chair.
When they say quiet about them. Women just seem to.
He's not Pookie.
You got lucky. In fact, we're gonna call a square a square. You got lucky. Pookies have that ability, but you came out on the right end. Mr. Rich, $10 for the love of the game. Appreciate you, sir. John the Baptist, Trigger, you need at least 5 women to can up for this subject. We got two.
Right.
Two good ones.
Right.
All right. Ennis, foreign currency. Meet me in the club. Figs, poor kids, she for the streets. What? All right. Anyway. I don't think Ennis like your ass for real, if I'm being honest. All right. We're gonna start with DMT and Ashton
He's
on this
one
one.
of plenty.
Let me go to this one first. Describe your version of a good woman. What are her characteristics? What is she doing for you? What is she doing for her community? Just what's your version of a good woman? We're gonna start with DMT. Go ahead.
I say first she's clean.
Damn, that's
she's hospitable. That means when you bring people over to the house, she making everybody feel cozy and at home, making them feel welcome.
Right.
She's supportive. You know, she offers a hand when it's needed. She can see when things aren't right, and she can offer her help there and improve the situation in her own way. Right. Let's see. She's caring. You know, she's able to know when maybe you don't need, you coming home from a long day, maybe you don't need her words of encouragement. Maybe all you need is a back her up. Maybe all you need is your shoulders massaged for a minute. You know what I'm saying? She understands when you need that. And then organized. I think a woman that's organized, that's able to put things in place. Because me, I'm kind of I'm the type of person where I like organized chaos. I got a lot of stuff going on that I work on and I'm doing. So if a woman could come in and maybe help me organize, maybe, put me in a position where I remember appointments, or she makes me a little calendar, you know what I'm saying? That, hey, remember you got to go do this, babe. You got to do this. You got to take care of this. Oh, remember to schedule this appointment. You got to go to the doctor. You got to go to the dentist, things like that.
Right.
And then obviously attractive, and then God-fearing for me. That's important too. She got to be God-fearing. So I think all of those qualities for me is a good woman, somebody you can work with.
Right.
Yeah, it's raining over here too, Trigger.
I think that's me. I'm in Houston, so it's storming over there.
Oh, damn. We all in the same place. I'm looking up like,
man, Houston, stay on that water.
But y'all all in Houston too, Trigger? Yeah, it's storming.
Yeah, we about to be floating in this mug. It said flash flood warning. All right. So y'all know what happened to me if I just blink out. My shit's sensitive over here. All right, Ashton. Describe your version of a good woman.
I mean, I just want a woman that stay to herself and in her lane. Everything else, it'll follow. Just her on her purpose, on her staying 10 toes down.
All right. You short. You be short to the point.
I like it.
Yeah.
Right.
You like it.
Oh, her square. Thank you for pointing out what I tried to tell our pain a couple of weeks ago about Pookies and Ray Ray. Thank you on her square.
Right. They ain't all bad.
Argued me up and down. Yeah, our pain argued me up and down. I told him big head ass.
They can change. I mean, everybody can change. I mean,
Nah, Pookies and Ray Rays don't change. They don't change.
I mean, there's good Pookies.
You even admitted it yourself that you're a good dude still carrying some of it.
I think Pookies and Ray Rays is in everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, but our pain said they just be nothing in women.
Now y'all.
Our pain said they just be nothing in women.
I am not a Pookie nor a Ray Ray.
All I'm saying
Pookies and Ray Rays are everybody.
Pookies and Ray Rays are not all bad. Let's put it that way.
I am a classic.
I always speak with that.
My brother is not a Pookie or a Ray Ray. He can't relate.
How would you know?
He's been married. He's young. He's been married twice.
I bet you my sister.
He's a good man.
My sister.
Everybody
You don't know what that.
He don't have no outside kids. He waited until he was married. His wife.
Mike, did you want to go around and
married.
answer the question?
You don't know that.
No, we can. I'm just chop it up with different people real quick. First off, these likes are deplorable. And before I go down, well, I don't know where I'm gonna get them out here, but before I go get some strippers, y'all need to get these likes up and these super chats up, because we got 2 women on the panel and a whole lot of chocolate chests And I still don't see no super chats, and I know that's what y'all like to see. So for this fight, I need some super chats.
Let's go
Chocolate chats.
Chocolate chest. I love that.
Yes.
All right.
Chocolate
Triple
chest.
Black. I want to hear from you. We haven't heard from you in a while. Then Mr. Payne, what is your version of a good woman?
Women. I mean, like a very nurturing woman. You know, of somebody that's very like you don't have to ask them to do stuff. Because I remember the moment I realized that I wanted to marry my ex-wife, I remember the exact moment. You know what I'm saying? She was actually cooking me breakfast before work. You know, it was like the big boy breakfast where she got up and she like cooked fish. You know what I'm saying? You know, fish that's really messy, but fish and grits for breakfast, I mean, that's above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? It's not like just, I mean, there's you got to put some stuff in. You got to put some stuff like she used to do little stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff that I would forget about. And then the what really got me is she took my mother to go get her nails done. And my mother was never a person that used to get to do that. She took her on a spa date and stuff like that. And I was just like, you know what? This is the type of woman that I want to marry. You know what I'm saying? And the thing, and I remember the first time when we started dating, and I don't know, I think a lot of women will get triggered by this. I was like, she was like, why don't you have somebody? I was just like, you know what? A woman hasn't won me over yet. And I think in today's day, that whole notion of a woman winning a man over is very triggering. Like I think
they always lose them.
It's very triggering, but I think it's just like and then when she started to pour into me, the more she poured into me, the more I poured into her. So, you know, I started spoiling her. And, you know, I think that's probably the reason that she wanted to get married to me because, you know, I wanted to reciprocate, you know what I'm saying? I started doing things for her, you know, trying to get to know her family and stuff like that. It was kind of like just a good balance, you know, but it was mostly on her to make me realize that this is the type of woman that I wanted, you know what I'm saying? And it just happens just like that. You know, like most men that I talk to said that they know the moment that that's the woman that they want to be with. Right. And it's just like an instant moment. And I remember that.
All right,
it's just like
access.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Right.
Yeah.
Shoot. All right, let's get Mr. Richard in.
Yeah. I mean, real quick, you know, when I think about a good woman, I just think about a woman being honest, you know, loyal to her word, have some integrity, you know, good character, self-esteem, you know, cooperative, and above all, you know, virtuous. I mean, have some kind of virtue left. And the only thing I think a man could measure with a woman, if he especially wants her to be his wife, is how much virtue does she have left? Can she cleave to you and make you her man and want to be with you? Because if there's no virtue there, you know, there's nothing that you could bond with. You know, I couldn't see anybody bonding with a porn star or a real 304. You know, that's not to say a woman has to be a virgin. I mean, we're in the West, so that's gone. That's long gone. But you know, even Fantasy Island Girl said something about that she got some shit out of her system. I never let a man tell me that when he gets married. I got it all out of my system. No, you didn't get it out of your system. If you want to be with a woman, you got to make a conscious choice that you're not going to cheat. And if you're a woman that's promiscuous or have been promiscuous, you don't get it out of your system. You're still that same sexual person. You got to make a conscious choice not to. And you might have to make that choice.
You mentioned me, but I'm not promiscuous. When I had fun, I was just exploring different places.
Hold on. I mentioned you, but
don't throw the 304 label on me because I dress like that.
No, I didn't say you were 304. Listen to what I said. I said, but you know your way around sex, though. Right. So, but you made a statement that you had to get it out of your system. Not only you made that. I was
married for years. Yes, I know my way around sex. We did a lot of sex. A lot.
Before you get triggered, I'm not trying to indict you about it. You said you took a year to get, you know, to do your thing, and I'm saying that now that you got a new guy, you still accept all these things. So you got to make sure, and you got to make a conscious choice every day not to cheat on this dude. And
Yes,
it's
I
harder
do.
for women because you're going to get approached more than a man. A
Yes.
man has to put himself in that kind of position. And so, but it's still, you still have to make a choice daily. So you need to have a woman, just like I have like a man, I have to make a choice. And I mean, I wasn't the most handsome guy, but I used to get laid. I don't care what anybody said. I used to get laid. You know, I mean, what can I say? But once I got married, I had to deny all myself of other women. You know, because I don't know what it is, but women like to touch me. They like to.
It's very different for
women
y'all.
love
It's
married
very
men.
different for y'all. We are used to
I
that
ain't mad at
attention
you.
and people wanting to have
only
sex with us
50
all
women
the
back in
time.
his time when he was
All the time.
Your ass up.
So we have a lot of practice turning down men for sex. We have a lot of practice. We've been practicing our whole lives.
Nah, that's my guy, man. I love Rich, man. That's my guy, man.
Oh my goodness, he said 50 women.
Because he can take a joke. I love him.
All right,
he can actually take a joke. I love it.
Exactly.
EBD, what's your take on it, man? What's a good woman, bro?
I think a good woman. I think sometimes you know her when you see her. When you talk to her. We're not talking about attraction because beauty's only skin deep. Right. But I think that old saying, "Beauty's only skin deep, but ugly can be to the bone." Right. So when we're talking about like what I see as a good, I'll just talk about the woman that I'm with now. Right. She's submissive. She's agreeable. She's unargumentative. Whenever we got to go somewhere that it's just me and her going to pick up some food or something that's minute, she takes 2 minutes to get ready. She's usually readier than I am. If she needs to put on makeup, it takes maybe 30 minutes. She looks good when we're going somewhere to an event or something like that. So she's really quick about she's considerate about my time. She's appreciative for every time that we have to spend together. She has mannerisms such as please and thank you that I haven't heard in a while from women in my age group. So there's all these things about a woman that I kind of didn't know that was still there. I mean, 20 years age difference, but she was raised, with the mother and the father that gave her these values about how to appreciate a man. So yeah, I mean, a good woman won't talk down to you or disrespect you either in private or public. She can handle criticism with grace. She's willing to listen. She doesn't always have to be right. She can admit when she's wrong. She can learn something from you and appreciates the intellect or what you have brought to the table in the relationship terms. And I mean, I don't want to say last but not least, but I would say sex is very important. If she doesn't, if the sex is unsatisfying and that's because she's only focused on her pleasure and not yours, then it's not going to work, right? We're going to look for something somewhere else that some other woman can satisfy. But no, I lucked out. I got all my boxes ticked, so I'm not letting this one go anytime soon. She's not letting me go either, right? So that's my version of it. That's my spin on it.
Mike?
EBD's right.
Prototype.
So DMT, man, he kind of knocked it out the box with the first, let him go first. But it's definitely like a woman that makes you look good in front of your peers. A woman that's hospitable. She makes you feel good. She looks out for your needs. You know what I'm saying? She's there when you might need something. She watches your back, like, oh, he's missing this. If he needs organized, she organizes things for you. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of one of those things. And in return, she get that protection or whatever from you, and whatever you give her. But I mean, he kind of knocked it out the box. If y'all want to scroll back, I really don't have nothing to add after what he added.
Right.
Fantasy, agreeing with EBD proved Trey Point, right?
Don't say nothing, Ashton. Leave that
All
alone.
right, my bad.
I'm glad you picked up on it, though.
Yeah, I caught that. That's what made me join. I wasn't even gonna join. I was gonna let the women.
Can I say what I think a good one is?
Can you explain real quick how you see that?
No. Let's just move on. It's all good. It's all good.
This fantasy.
Okay.
I want to hear you.
Oh, I agree with what EBD says. That's how I treat my man. That's what he said. He values in me. So when you're talking about the things that you like about your woman, my man has told me that's what he loves about me, and that's why he wants to marry me. So I'm like, that's why when men say there's not women out there like me, I know I'm not the only one. You just mentioned somebody that I've never met that's experiencing that. So all I'm saying is meet your person that you feel that way about and marry them. That's all I'm saying. That's all my expectation is.
Right.
That's all any of us can do. When you find the one that's your person for you, in particularly that gels, right? Because that's not everybody. I mean, like us men, yes, we smash a lot of women, right? We go through a lot of chicks. The thing is, when you find a special connection with someone, that one person, that one special chick, she's ticking all these boxes, and it's like, hold up. I don't want to let this one go. I may forgo all the other ones, but this one I like. So naturally the trade-off is for me all the time is, yeah, if I'm not dealing with this one specific woman, then I'm dealing with a plethora of women. I always say, if I'm not dealing with one woman in a relationship, then I'm dealing with all women who are potentially could be in a relationship. So it's either the one or the many, and it's a trade-off either way.
One thing I haven't heard anybody say is, I want to love somebody unconditionally, or I want to love somebody to the depth that I could love another person, right?
That ain't
real.
That's good. That's because it's not a real
men
thing.
love women unconditionally.
Well, I was gonna say,
but when she changed it to as far as you can love them, I agree with that part. Unconditional. I don't believe in unconditional love, but
I mean, you unconditional love. I mean, in terms of, I want a person to love me the way where I stand. The way I walk through the door, I want you to love me the way I walk through the door. Don't look at me and say, I need to change how I dress. I need to change how I do. You need to stop hanging out with your friend. Love me the way I walk through the door. Because you're going to be happier when somebody loves you the way you are. If I have to change everything about myself for you to love me,
you
then
don't
it's
like
not
me.
you won't. It's not me you loving.
Exactly.
It's an idea in your head of what you're loving. I want you to love me the way I walk through the door, right? And whenever I got on the dating sites, that was one of the first two things I said is, love me the way I walk through the door and make me feel safe. When you love me the way I walk through the door and you make me feel safe, then I'm free to be the woman that I can be and love you the way you walk through the door. Pookie and Ray, Educated Lame, however you come, if you show me that you're going to love me the way I walk through the door, I'm going to love you the same way. I very rarely hear people on these panels and things say, I want to love somebody. For real. Not none of this bullshit. None of this, oh, I got to have a high value man. I got to have this. Love me the way I walk through the door. Because I'm flawed.
You do sound like
hold on, let me get in there.
Her square. Men don't leave relationships 80% of the time, so that's unconditional right there.
Let me
my
get
bad. My bad.
No, it's not. You not leaving is not. Sorry.
Hold on. God damn. I knew you was going to attack this one, man. I knew you were going to attack.
Immediately. I apologize.
Look, her square.
Men don't expect
men don't have this issue that you just talked about.
You guys to change.
That whole love the woman the way she comes, that is not a man's issue. That is currently a modern woman's issue.
It's a modern man's issue.
It's a modern man's issue.
Yes,
it's a modern human.
They see me.
Y'all
and they want to change immediately.
Y'all are tripping. There's a reason for the phrase that men want women to stay the same and women marry men for their potential. We don't want you to change.
That's the traditional man. I'm talking about the modern one.
I can guarantee you, your man right now doesn't want you to change a thing.
Yeah, he doesn't. But there were plenty that came before him when I was dating that were like,
who cares?
Oh, you're
they don't
so
matter.
Beautiful.
They don't matter, fantasy. They don't
but
matter.
The point is, they did want to change.
It doesn't matter. They don't matter.
Okay, fantasy. At 24, can you admit that you said some dumb ass shit?
The only person that matters is the dude you with right now. He's the only one that matters. And I can guarantee he does not want you to change a thing about you.
All we're speaking on are the men that do. They're not the ones for you, because there were plenty of men that wanted to change me. Right. They were like, "Oh, you're beautiful."
Why do you want to talk about people who are insignificant and irrelevant? They don't matter.
Because some women will decide they're going to change for that man, but you're masking every day of your life, and they're expecting you to keep that mask on until you die.
Right.
So instead, wait until you find someone that wants you like you are, especially if you don't plan on changing. I don't plan on changing. Or changing too drastically. So if you want somebody to love you, you can't change up for them just because they fine, just because they got money, just because they have that energy that you want them to have. You can't. You have to be who you are and let them love who you are.
And we have to love men the way they walk through the door.
Same.
That sound nice, but I'm gonna let y'all have it.
But that's what I'm saying.
I ain't letting him have it at all. I'm not letting no woman the way she walk through the door. She got to progress.
Cause you know damn well y'all want us to change, so let's be real about it.
We don't want.
I love my man. I hope he stays exactly like he is.
The problem is you're not leaving.
Fanny said before
I hope he stays exactly like he is. He's absolutely perfect.
You're leaving out room for maturity. If I'm going to mature as I get older, there will be some change. As I get older, hang on. As I get older, as I get wiser, as I understand life more, I will change. I will adjust to the way the world is. I don't have a choice. As a man, I have no choice. I have to, or else I will perish. Yeah, so this idea that hang on. This idea that you're gonna take me the way that I am, that's fine. If you want to take me the way that you want to take the Trey the way he is right now, good luck to you. But I would wait a few years.
I would take my man the way that he is right now. The man that I
to let me mature.
But the thing is, my man is mature, so that's the difference. My man has,
and he's going to get even more mature.
But that's the thing. My man has matured to the point where I don't need him to make drastic changes for me to know that I want him to be my husband, because I love who he is now. He doesn't have to change, and he needs a few more years. He's got that potential. He can do that.
Your man in his 50s.
That's not where my man is. My man is pretty mature.
So he is going to change.
He's old. She likes old men.
He's not old. He's older.
Yeah, see, look, she like old men. See, that's why she can say that.
He look young. That dude had on some board shorts the last time.
Yeah, but accepting
he's 38.
Oh, that's not old.
Oh, that's not old.
I'm 31.
Yeah, he didn't look that old.
Yeah, well, I mean, accepting people the way they walk through the door is maturity. That's why mature human beings should not even be in relationship. Unmature human beings should not even be in relationships.
I agree.
You have to be mature to understand what I'm saying to you. I'm saying to you, when I walk through the door, love me the way I walk through the door, because you're not going to be happy if I'm not happy the way I am. Men don't like women trying to change them. So why is it that you want to change me?
Because you might help me. That's why.
No,
you need to adjust to what I need you to do. You might help me.
To continuously try to change me. I'm not going to be a good helper. You're working harder to change me into your helper than to get somebody that's already.
That's why I'm looking for somebody that's cooperative. You got to be cooperative when you walk through that door, and you want to change to what I need you to do. So if I want you to dress like this, or I want you to be like this, wear your hair like this, get in shape, whatever I want you to do, you better be cooperative to do it. No, there's plenty of women that will do.
There's more women that won't do it than that will.
That's an absolute lie. That's an absolute lie, Fantasy.
Hold on, y'all. Let me give my answer according to where
my job is to improve you.
My job is your job is not to improve me.
Absolutely. Hang on.
You see, but this is what they believe.
Hold on, y'all.
Hang on.
Let me give my answer.
That is my sole purpose. It's just to improve everything around me.
It's all semantics, Trey, because they will find a way to say it themselves in different words if you give them a chance.
Same as y'all. Y'all do the same thing.
No, y'all just want more acceptable words because improve is triggering, but y'all are gonna find a way to say it.
Right, because
I don't need improvement. That's what y'all
not insulting.
Implies that there's something wrong with them.
Exactly.
Everyone has things wrong with them.
Let me give my answer.
No, your words imply there's something wrong with us.
There's something wrong with everybody.
It's not your job to improve us. It's our job to improve ourselves. Just like it's not our job to change y'all. It's your job to improve.
Hang on, Mike's got to say something. Mike's got to say something.
Can I give my take on my own goddamn? Can I give my take?
Sorry, Mike.
Y'all good? All right.
Sorry.
I want a coachable woman. Is that better than improve?
Yes.
Because I am the coach.
He literally said the same thing.
We're fine with either one. All we're saying is there's some people that aren't cut out for basketball. It doesn't matter how much you're trying to coach them, they're not cut out for it.
Done. Well, you know what? You're right. They aren't wife material.
They're not your wife.
They're not your wife.
No, they're not wife material.
No fantasy.
They're
No
nobody's
fantasy.
Some men are into
No
football.
You're
So
just
this woman that's
an
not cut out for
uncoachable
basketball might be
just a
cut out
bad
for
coach.
football.
Hold on.
You're
That's
just
the
a bad
point.
coach.
She's still
Uncoachable
somebody's
woman-
wife.
No,
Hold
you're
on,
just a
y'all.
bad coach. I can make you a decent basketball
An
player.
uncoachable woman is not a wife material. She's not.
But you're
I
not
agree with you.
supposed to
We're
be
not
coaching
disagreeing on
her.
that.
So
You're supposed to be accepting her the way she was. You go. Wait a minute. Hold on.
her square. I got to give
You
my
have
full answer.
10
I got to
things
give
that
my
you
full
want.
answer.
Wait.
Hold on. I got to give my full answer. The one place I do agree is because this is actually something that not prolong my relationship, but you have to find things out. So when people act like you can always figure out a woman, it's like in these modern times, it's going to take longer because when, my wife now, when she was my girlfriend, asked me, she just kind of went through that stage. Are we going to get married? Are you serious? I said, I am serious. And the one thing you got to understand, a ring means I'm no longer going to, I'm accepting you day one. This is the woman I want to be my wife. So yeah, I can coach you into where we need to be as we mature through the different phases of a relationship, but acceptance happens with that ring. That's what that shit is saying. I accept you and the woman as you are into my life as my wife. So that means a lot. But I want a coachable and cooperative woman.
So
do you understand that like if you do it the right way, a woman who becomes a mother is still going to need guidance from her husband? The same way a man needs guidance. So what women aren't really understanding that a large part of that guidance comes from your husband. And this is not a disparaging thing. Women, yes, they can be a little bit logical. They have logic. They can be a little bit practical. They have you can be practical. But when it comes to your emotions are they dominate you. And in your emotions, you lose the ability to be logical and practical. That's why when you hear some women talk, they adopt the logic of their husband. They saying something their husband would say. They're using phrases their husbands use because they're adopting his logic. That is a woman that has been coached by that man. So a woman who's a wife absolutely needs to be coachable.
Do you believe a woman comes to the relationship with a mind of her own?
She absolutely has a mind of her own, but she also has natural deficits.
So do
you not believe that women are ruled by their emotions? They are. And let me tell you something. Women are ruled by their emotions by natural things. What I mean is that when a woman's child is in danger of being hurt or something like that, she's irrational. She's emotional.
With that?
She'll yell off at the teacher. She'll punch the teacher in the face because over her children, she loses all rationality. Is that not acceptable to say? So it takes her husband to be like, sit down. Don't embarrass me. Let me talk to this lady because she's tripping, because I can do so without wanting to throw a punch at her. That's what I mean by logic. Because of it's about her child, she lost all ability to be rational because her emotions are what rules her. But men don't operate like that.
That doesn't mean that's always a bad thing. That's not always
as we can see with the absence of fathers in our society, in the millions, it is a bad thing.
Well, I mean, and we have very immature women walking around. We have very immature
with no guidance from a father or husband.
I'm not going to say women. I'm going to say human beings. We have we have a lot of immature human beings walking around these days who don't understand that they have trauma that needs to be addressed before they can get into a relationship with somebody else, right?
Indeed.
We have a lot of trauma. And the problem is when you don't recognize that you need help, you just do things, you just say things, you just act certain way. There's no way we should have this many women single. There's no way with them owning the box, with women owning the box. Why do we have so many women that's single?
Now, this is the other part of my list. The reason so many women are single is because women are no longer women of service. Right. I want a woman of service. Right. She has to be hospitable. I don't want to be married to the neighborhood bitch. I want everybody to like my wife. I want everybody to want to come eat her cooking and say, "Oh, she's throwing a party. I'm definitely going." Everybody wants to be married to that woman. We got a lot of bitches in the black community. I'm sorry to say it like that. We got too many. And in fact, I'm sorry, her square, they take pride in it. Right. They take pride in being the bitch. So we got too many of that. They don't want to be women of service. This is one of the bigger issues that we have. You were a wife for 30 years. God, that is commendable. Let me ask you, because I want to make this as a testament on this show. Did you always necessarily agree with or like everything you had to do as duty in your marriage as a wife? It was taxing work, right? It was
no. To be quite honest, I did not find being a wife hard.
I don't mean hard. What I mean is did some of the work that you had to do, did you have to do it tired?
No.
You didn't have to do any work tired? Like, meaning while you were exhausted, you still had to serve your husband. That's what I mean.
Trigger, she had a bad boy. She was happy to do it.
No, we supported each other that way. We supported each other that way. It wasn't a matter of him saying, you do this, and this.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I knew my role. I knew what a wife was supposed to do. So I did what a wife.
So we're saying the same thing essentially. What I'm saying is, today, as a husband, all right, I'm telling you that I don't necessarily agree with everything I have to do. It's tiring, it's taxing. I got to do it whether I'm sick. I got to go to work whether I'm tired, exhausted, or whatever, because it's what I signed up to do. The modern woman does not want to do anything that she does not agree with wholeheartedly want to do. So she has to want to do everything in order to feel glad to do it. So she's not a woman of service. That's why so little of them are married.
I love being married. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I loved being married.
I would
say that's why a lot of them also choose them Pookie and Ray Rays, because they're not going to require them to change or be better.
Ooh, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's a good point.
Women don't.
Y'all keep saying Pookies and Ray Rays. Y'all keep saying Pookies and Ray Rays, but her square just said she married one and had a ball. Y'all need
that's why she said. That's why she said I want him to love me like as I am through the door. Pookies and Ray Rays, they know they ain't worth for them, so they don't have to change. They don't want you to change.
Hold on.
That ain't necessarily true.
Hold on, y'all didn't understand what she was saying when she said that. Love me for who I am. When I come through the door.
Yeah, I understood it. And I push back against it, because we're gonna change over here. I'm not no Pookie and Ray Ray. We're gonna change.
Hold on. When she said that, and I'm pretty sure you understood. Yo, when you with your wife, you 100% with your wife, right? You're not sugarcoating you yourself at all times, right?
Facts.
So don't you think it should be the same thing? So hold up. Don't you think it should be the same way with the woman that you chose to marry?
No, I don't want her to accept my bullshit. I want her to call me out.
No, I'm saying she's herself at all times.
But what if I no matter what her I didn't like and I needed her to change and she did?
Bruh, listen. If you got to do all that, that should not be your wife. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest.
Look, anything a woman knows, a man taught her. So some man taught her. You know what I mean? So by the time she gets to you and she don't got to change, the dude before taught her. So you gonna either have to teach or wait till she got the miles high and somebody done taught her.
Not every man knows everything.
Hold on, and that's cool. Man know everything now. Yeah, right. But that's cool and all. But she should still be herself, regardless. She should be willing to do the thing. Like, you shouldn't have to really teach her anything. You know, Love C said something that I actually love this quote that she said.
But they are willing when they value you. They're more than willing to make any changes you need them to make.
I have to teach her how to love me.
Exactly. I got to teach her how to be mine.
You don't have to teach her. What? She doesn't know.
You have to. If you don't have to teach her that, if you like her the way she is, like I said, bro, somebody taught her. You know what I'm saying? You're liking what she did with another man taught her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I say
hold on. So
hold on, yo. When I say this is semantics like a mug, because we're all saying the same thing. You have to, whether a woman wants to admit it or not, she is adopting the persona, the lingo. She's adopting the look of her man. Shit, some women look like they husbands. They be around that dude so long. Okay, listen. When you get around a married woman, a married man, look at the way he moves, listen to the stuff he says, and try to understand his logic. Then when you spend a significant amount of time around them as a couple, realize that that woman, if he is a real good man and a leader, that woman has adopted his logic. Everything she do, especially if it's like something that's a question, she'll look at him. If she wants to answer it by herself, she'll kind of look up and he'll just gotta look like, yeah, we good. She'll be like, yeah, we straight. Like you said, I watch this stuff in real time. Women adopt their man's logic.
So Trigger Mike,
and they're looking for a leader. They're actually looking for a ruler or whatever we were saying. They're looking for that shit every day.
Hold on. Love C said, and this is her quote: "As a woman, you should be able to mimic your husband's morals, principles, and respect. Right? You should be able to echo it. Basically, you should be able to echo your husband's morals and respect. If that is not, if you can't even do that as a woman, then that's not the husband, right? So if you got a woman that actually move like that, like what you're talking about, Trigger Mike, it makes it so much easier for what you're trying to teach her. Now, if you got a woman that's out here just doing whatever she want to do, right, then it's gonna be hard. But when she said that, what she said, yo, love me for the way I come through the door, that right there is something that I really don't see like that today. Like a lot of women don't follow that. You know what I'm saying? Like they really don't. They just like they just come in like they the encyclopedia and they won't take nothing in.
Part of what I meant was, and this is an analogy. I am a fast walker. I was a fast walker. My husband was a slow walker. And once I realized he was a slow walker, I slowed my pace.
You mean you changed?
Right. No, it wasn't a matter of changing.
Literally, that is the personification. You change your stride.
What are you talking about?
You change.
Lord have mercy, man.
I changed my. Well, I mean, obviously.
Don't.
You just admitted to it. You literally admitted to it.
It was a matter of what
you're gonna have to concede this one. You're gonna have to concede this one.
Hold on. So her square. Her square.
Get it out.
You echoed your husband's face, correct?
Right.
You literally just described walking to the beat of his drum. Like there is no way you can put it there.
But it wasn't a matter of him coming in and saying you have to do this.
And you're right.
No, he led by example. Some men lead by example.
There you go.
Some men lead by example. It's still leadership.
Do you cook to your husband's taste or do you cook to your taste?
I cook to his taste, but
Trigger, let's move on.
Mike is gone. Mike is gone.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. My husband was one of those people who had a rag on the table. And he would wipe his hands when he would eat, and he would with a rag on the table. We went on vacation, and when he got to the table down there in the middle of the restaurant, I had a wet rag sitting on the table.
But you ain't changing though, Square.
Huh?
You ain't changing though.
You know what?
Come on, Square. You just admitted to it. Come on.
Her Square, you
a lot. I mean,
I deserve more flowers than anything.
I mean, I changed because his pace was better. Even though he wasn't.
There it is, Square. There it is. Square. And that's why you were married for 30 years. That's why it worked. That's why it worked, Square.
I'm not saying that don't work. That's not what I'm saying.
You know you disrespecting the sisterhood of the code.
I know. I done broke the code. I done broke the code.
That's why she's glitching out.
Okay. I think the point would be no matter what how you want to make it, the point would be is that the way you move when you were single, walking fast, changes when you're in a relationship. Because now the speed doesn't matter to you anymore because you're with somebody else. And when you're with somebody else, you give up that speed and compromise that to walk with your husband together.
Hey, Square, let me ask you real quick. Do you feel as though when you were on his pace and you were moving with him that you were better or worse?
I love being married.
So you were better?
Every aspect of being married.
So you were better?
Yes. I was a better human being for being in a relationship.
So you improved.
So he improved you, right?
So you improved.
Yes.
Come on, Square.
Okay.
Come on.
All right. That's what he was trying to say earlier.
That's all we're trying to say, Square.
Wait a minute. What I'm saying is I learned to appreciate the differences between he and I. And some of his differences some of his stuff was better than mine.
That's
so I adopted some of his
right.
things.
Square. We understand that. We just
Square,
didn't beat around the bush. We just got straight to the point. We understand.
Hold on. Wait.
I get exactly what you're saying.
Hold on. She said she appreciates. A lot of women don't appreciate what men bring. They don't value that.
Right.
Today.
She appreciated everything.
Square, can I ask you a question?
The pace, the lessons, the what she was trying to teach to her so she could teach it to their kids and so on and so on. She appreciated that. Right. A lot of women today, they're not doing that. They're not even trying.
Square,
so if you find a woman that appreciates everything you do, you better lock her the fuck down.
Square, here's the thing, Square.
Right.
We all accept a woman as she comes when we first start. We have no choice. Right. We have to accept her as she is at that moment. Right. What we have to do is dig deeper during our vetting process to find out if there's something better there.
Right.
All right.
Square, can I ask you a question?
Let me get these super chats real quick.
Okay.
My man Ennis. A good woman knows how to listen. My mic is muted. He's English, so I just
right.
Be love. Appreciate the love and support. A good woman enhances her life exponentially. She will help you be the best version of yourself. I tend to agree with that.
Yes.
Roller skater Texas girl. Appreciate that. $20. Leaving in Cleveland does require a bit of mothering.
Right.
That's not a bad thing. It shows love. Right. We appreciate those super chats. Before I bring those strippers, y'all keep getting these super chats rolling. I appreciate that.
Right.
We giving y'all some hot fire today.
Right.
We just literally got somebody to go against the whole sisterhood code.
Wow.
We are making breakthroughs on the Trigger Mike show.
Well, see, I can't lie. I can't lie that you adopt you walk. If you're a fast walker, you learn to walk slow because of your man. And then I felt the protection instantly because he was that kind of person. Instantly. But when I he accepted me the way I walked through the door. He didn't say I had to know how to cook. I had to know how to do this. I had to know how to do that. He never said any of those things. He just
You don't say that neither.
We don't. So do you know something, Her Square? The one thing that's actually very it's disheartening about the bad reputation that black men have acquired from black women is that they haven't realized that the black man is literally the most agreeable man. The black American man is the most agreeable man on the planet. He was likely raised by a woman. He saw a woman go to work. He saw a woman do for herself, cook for herself, raise her own kids. So when y'all talk about this man is so unagreeable that requires all these things, y'all are talking about a 1958 white man. You're talking about
I married a Pookie and Ray Ray. I don't believe that.
So exactly. And the one thing about it that I think is very notable about you describing your husband as a Pookie and Ray Ray, you're describing him also as a man who still deserved submission from his woman. And when he got it, he rose to the occasion and took care of you for the entirety of his life. So I think that's very impactful because women keep saying that they will only submit under certain conditions and under certain circumstances. When you realize that what you're talking about is you submitted to your man.
Right.
So much so that you were able to adopt his ideology. A former Pookie, a reformed Pookie. You adopted his ideology, the way he moved, the way he spoke, his logic, his practicality, and he led y'all. And I'm sure there were bumps along the way. There were hard times. There was all this stuff, but you worked with him anyway, and you made it to a prosperous marriage to where you could talk about him on the panel today. So this is a real story. So that's why I appreciate it. Right. So let me get this next question popping.
Trigger, let me break her down real quick before you get started.
Oh Lord!
On Square, did y'all go to diners or did y'all go to 5-star restaurants when y'all first met?
We never did fancy stuff.
I know.
He
a real
was
woman.
He was a garbage man, and I was a teacher. So we never went to anything fancy. We just never were those kind of people.
So
I mean,
no
I never looked at him and said, "You don't make enough money." I never looked at him and said that because he was just so. He had so much.
You mean you respected him?
Matter what he made. money.
You respected him. Yeah.
Right. I respected him, you know, because he was just that kind of person where he walked in the room and you knew he wasn't taking no bullshit. Right. And so you had to go with his program because he'd be like, you know, we'd be at a family gathering and he'd be like, let's go, let's roll. And I knew it was time to go. It wasn't no argument. He was tired. He was sick. But see, I knew how to read him. When he said he was done, he was done. When he said, I got to get out of here, he got to get out of here. When he said, I'm not doing that, I knew not to ask him again. I even had almost a verbal fight with our daughter, who was 22 years old. Mom, why you letting dad tell me da-da-da-da? I was like, because this is his house. This is his house. He run everything up in here. You don't want to live here? You need to move out. But I'm under this roof.
Now, Square, you know how you preaching about all these good women out here, right? You know women today leave their husband just because they bored now.
I found
Did you know that? Yeah, exactly. You peeped that trick. You said I got her throwing feminism all up under the bus.
No, Ashton, you do realize there are still good women out here that actually is their own woman, right?
Yeah, but you know they try to hide.
You got to find a woman that's her own woman and don't follow what everybody do.
We ain't talking about me, brother.
Follow her, bro.
We ain't talking about me. We talking about for the views.
Her square is her own woman. That's what I'm looking at.
I'm creating a handbook for men so they know what a good woman looks like. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I used wives, recently married, and women have been married up to 10 years. When I'm telling you right now, I did a detailed text in the group chat, text all my homies. Every single woman is a wife currently in my friend group, and then these women have an extremely low amount of Instagram followers. They even follow more people than follow them.
Right.
They don't post pics, any provocative pics.
Right.
They don't, unless Instagram is their job and it was only like 2 of them.
Right.
It's literally for business related. Like, you see what I'm saying? They don't overexpose themselves for the attention of other men. They don't do anything like that. Literally,
wait.
We got to remember.
Your wife got an Instagram, bro?
You say again?
Your wife got an Instagram?
My wife actually works on Instagram. She has her own business. Well,
okay.
You know,
I was just asking because my wife don't even got an Instagram at all. She ain't got nothing.
Let me tell you, the number of low follower.
You trying to flex
count,
on you,
these women have
flex on you.
No, I ain't trying to flex. Hey, I appreciate that.
These women don't they have long times in between posts.
Right.
I was like, damn, they not out here being wild, looking for the attention of other men or nothing like that. I was like, this is crazy. So men need to honestly understand that those type of women aren't that you want to jump in their DMs real quick. They're letting you know by their activity that they're not wife material.
When my husband was alive, he would post food every day. And I had never been on Facebook, never been on there. Just I really don't have a desire to be on there at all, any of that stuff, right? But in honor of him, I posted a pic of me every day for 365 days to honor the memory of him dying. And those are the only pictures that you will catch of me on.
Hey, if it's to honor your husband, we don't have a problem with that. Let me get to the next question.
I'm sorry. Before I get off, I just wanted to give her flowers. It's very rare that you hear a woman talk about their husband. I've only met 3 people in my entire life talk about their husband like this. So salute to you. Salute to your husband.
Thank
everybody.
You. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely something that we need to hear more. So,
and I thank you all for letting me on the panel. I gotta go.
Y'all keep saying there's good women out here, but you see how long it took for us to hear it? It shouldn't take this long to hear.
Wait a minute. You know, hearing her speak about her husband, since the topic is a good woman, I mean, I think we know what one sounds like.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Correct.
Can we all agree to that?
Thank you all.
Yeah.
All right, so oh damn, she bounced too. All right, well,
yeah, she said she had to
back in with us.
Oh, okay, got you. I dropped the link in the chat if anybody other women want to come up shoot, let us know. We don't want this to be an echo chamber just with men, but we're gonna talk about this.
All we need now is PhD diva.
I dare. After the next question, I dare y'all ladies to come up. So I see you, Esh. Esh, you need to bring your butt up here. I think I saw Black Beauty. You need to bring your butt up here for this next question. Be love you too.
Hey, Trigger.
What changes do modern women need to make to be widely regarded as good women? Anybody can go.
Like I said last week, they need to do a hard reset. It's a lot of stuff they need to change. Just the stuff that they hear and the stuff that we hear as men, it's totally opposite. It's two totally different. It ain't working out how it is now. I mean, they talk about how they want to get married, and I don't see it coming. Like, that's just my honest opinion. Like, you want to invite all these people, you want to have a big ass wedding, but you don't know the first thing about a wedding. Like, you know, you can't even eat your own food at your wedding. Like, that's a big ass religion. I mean, a big ass shit. What they call tradition. You can't even eat your own food because your friends gonna try to kill you or put something in your shit. Like, you just it's shit women gotta learn, change up, switch up with if you want to get married.
Agreed. All right. Anybody else?
I would say to drop all of the modern education of feminism and start listening to what traditional women have to say, and hear women like her square speaking about their husbands and their lives and how they respect them no matter what job that they hold. We don't hear that. Okay, we don't hear that in these spaces. We don't hear that on TV. There is no TV show with this woman in this type of marriage, this kind of relationship, and this kind of dynamic. We don't get to hear enough of the relationships that do work, but what we do see plenty of are relationships and marriages that don't, that fail, that are cracking up, that are disrespectful, that are toxic. They lack accountability on both parts, and we see a number of divorces. We see divorce court. We see weddings that don't work, from the bachelor to the bachelorette to all these crap, love. I mean, all this crap about marriage on television, and then we see divorce court. So we have all these things playing on television as well. So yeah, nothing's really real anymore. Reality TV's kind of corrupted what it is to be real, right? Rather than looking for something real for 30 years, we're looking for something that lasts 30 seconds or 30 likes.
Indeed. What's up, Ash? How you doing?
Hello.
All right. Your go. What changes do modern women have to make to be widely regarded as good women? We don't regard y'all, just in case you wondering. We don't regard y'all as good women right now.
Well, I don't know if you notice in other chats, I'm hated by a lot of the females because I say the opposite of what they say a lot. But I had to realize myself that sometimes we gotta learn to shut up because my mouth has gotten me in a lot of trouble, like especially when it comes to relationships. And it's like the same things we would say to men, we would be hurt if they said those same things to us. Like, sometimes I look back at some of the things I said to my ex and I'm like, I would be so hurt if he said that to me. It's like sometimes we just gotta be quiet, let them lead, because that's how my mom and dad are. My parents have been together 35 years and married 33. So I just look at how my mom was with my dad. Like, he always had the final say. Like, she could give her input, but it's like whatever my dad said, that's what it was.
Yep.
I just see how she is. She's very soft spoken. She's quiet. She just lets my dad lead. But we just gotta learn how to, like I said, be quiet sometime. Submit. That doesn't mean be a slave or do whatever. Like, it's just a lot. And I even had to learn that myself from my mom, because it's like sometimes we just gotta Just be better. Fantasy, that's the jacket you wore.
Yes, so
you can still see your
boobs. You can still see my boobs, but my shoulders weren't all out and everything.
They won't nobody look at your damn shoulder.
Look at the shoulders.
I knew it. Look at the jacket. I knew it.
It does look cute with the jacket.
That shit don't even button.
Thank you very much, Esh. That's what I wore. I thought it was cute. When I took this off, obviously it looks more naked. So I didn't wear this to the graduation. This was cute. I looked cute, you guys.
You're such a grandma with that jacket on. You're such a little mighty fine girl. You are such an old lady with that jacket.
I don't even know how this is possible.
It looks cute.
I don't even know how
prude with that jacket.
The jacket makes more emphasis on the titties than if you would have took the jacket off. At least we see
arms. Paying attention to the boobs this time. Like,
thank you.
And I still see they still there. They're
there.
Okay, put a one in the chat, fellas. If you see all you see is titty, because that's all I see is chocolate chests. That's all I see.
Chocolate chests.
And don't be eating an ice cream cone.
I only came back so you guys could see what it looked like, to see if you guys thought differently, and clearly no.
Nah.
But this is how it looked.
That's a date night. That's
my graduation. A little bit of that jacket.
It was a little kid graduation. It wasn't like a prestigious. It wasn't that. It was.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
I wouldn't have worn it to a graduation.
That's a little kid jacket.
That's brunch, date night. That's like I'm gonna go get some attention.
How old were the kids at this graduation? How old were the kids?
A man with some serious frame would not have let her wear that. There's no way.
Because if they were 12 or 13,
but they
were little kids. Nobody was being weird. Everyone was just enjoying the picnic. It was cute.
The dads was being of those kids was like,
they weren't being weird. They weren't.
I know it was a lot of mad wives.
We got used to hiding that.
Trigger had to take his glasses off.
Was Ash done? Enough with fantasy. Can we
go ahead, Trey.
Can we move
Why you gotta cut up and pretend? That is not how they were, you guys. They were not even paying attention.
I think
they were not paying attention to me, you guys.
I think she picked the smallest jacket in her closet on purpose. I don't even think that's the one she actually wore.
So the 5-year-olds, any 5-year-olds like walk up to you with the breastfeed or something? Like any 5-year-olds trying to be like, yo, man, I need some milk, some chocolate milk.
Fantasy's had enough airtime.
You might as well have 2 arrows on each side of those lapels pointing downward.
Oh Lord!
Let's move on.
With the title, chocolate milk here.
She's had enough.
You guys complain about every outfit, even when I wear a t-shirt. I get the same shit.
We're done.
The same shit when I wear a t-shirt.
We're done.
Let's move on. Every dude in the chat better send a super chat for the chocolatey, crispity, crunchity.
Bye.
You're a fantasy alley girl. You know what I'm saying?
Don't leave. Don't leave. Come back, Fantasy.
Why did she leave?
We're sorry.
We came back for the jacket.
Okay, Fantasy, come back and talk on the Dan. What's the question again? Talk on the question. But
let me go ahead. Let me go, Mike. Let me go real quick. Mine is quick. I think the women, if they want to become good, they need to start to reject the latest tenets of feminism. And one of the big things I would like most of the women now to start to stand on their square and become anti these transgender men representing women. They need to start arguing against that shit. They need to fight it. And I don't know why they didn't do BLM type protests when they made Bruce Jenner Woman of the Year. They should have been.
That's working out for us.
Well, I know why.
We need to work with them.
You got to understand right now, the women
take the lead on that.
Feminism is imploding on itself because they are realizing they created this own monster.
Exactly.
So if they come out against it, they're instantly hypocrites. Right? They're instantly hypocrites if they come out against it at all. So they let them say that change the symbol on tampon. Like it's like, oh, y'all realize the monster y'all created. So they don't want to come out as hypocrites right away because obviously that's like accountability, admitting that you're wrong. They don't do that easily. So it's going to literally now you see more women backing away from that movement by trying to behave like they were never for it in the first place. That's the way they act. We call them transformers for a reason. We call them, chameleons rather, for a reason. So you're more likely to see women act like they were never a part of any movement than actually repent and be like, I shouldn't have been a part of that movement.
I think we need to team up with them, Trigger, because
we
already knew what was going
on.
With the trans and the pride people.
Because
we already knew that shit was going in. We already knew that.
Bye, Ashton. You're gonna sit in the back for 30 seconds. I don't know what the hell you talking about. Not on the Trigger Mike show. No, thank you. You got 20 seconds left, big dog. Sit your ass right there. All right. Let me read these super chats real quick.
He's gonna have to explain that somehow.
My man King Spark, $5 says Trey is gonna say they need to get a BBL to get married. He damn sure is. AL, $2. All hail the Milk Dud Queen. Come back, Fantasy. We're sorry. In fact, go ahead and take that little ass jacket off. You got that shit from Forever 12. I don't know who's gonna make.
Yo, Mike.
Come on, where did you get that little ass jacket
Mike,
like that?
It's 21. Don't say 12.
How do you even try that shit on? Like, where do you get? Never mind. Anyway, bring your ass back up here, Fantasy. We sorry. We apologize. All right. Let me answer this question. So this is what women need to do. Ash, don't say that shit you said before. All right. In order to be regarded as good women, women got to be feminine. And I know that's like, oh, duh. No. Women actually got to be feminine, meaning they have to lean into being feminine. And for some reason, women today, with all of their behavior, with how aggressive they've made themselves, with how they talk on panels and they go back and forth in interactions with men, you think somehow we're going to regard you as feminine. At the end of the day, we do not. You need to lean into being feminine and stop resenting your role as women. What do I mean by that? You need to control your jealousy. The person that women are most jealous about are men. Women are extremely jealous that you're not men. That's why you resent your role as women and the duties and roles associated with you being a woman. You resent the fact that house chores are more closely given to women. You resent that. It's not that you actually have exactly penis envy, like King Strong says. You resent the fact that you can't just do the things that men do, that your muscles aren't as big, that you can't run as fast. You resent the fact that you're a woman now. That got nothing to do with us. And I'm starting to notice that's really what it is. That's why y'all complain in circles on YouTube.
I agree.
Understand, as somebody said, I believe it was Her Square, there is a lot of power in being silent. That is your power as a woman, not talking everybody to death, not muscling your way around. Your power is actually allowing men to make room for you. Well, you realize when Her Square talked, she talked for like 20 minutes. Nobody said a goddamn thing because we will make way for like a feminine woman. Is like, you got it. John the Baptist is like, you talk, we listen. Allow men to make way for you. That is you are afforded that right under us as men, because we will always do that. If Ashton came and said some foul shit to her, a woman that's that feminine, we'd be like, hey, dog, chill out. We would have defended that woman because she's feminine like that. So lean into your femininity, control your mouth, stop being jealous, stop being envious that you don't have a penis. And lastly, be good followers. A lot of y'all discredit good leaders. And these men made a mistake as a leader by choosing a bad follower. Women can derail a good leader because you think because a man got an unruly woman, he's a bad leader. Absolutely not. Women are so unruly today that you can actually derail a good leader. If you want to know, because what do women say? They'll say, oh, I did all this for this man. Then he went and got with this other woman, married her, and created this great family. Guess what? He left your unruly ass and went to be a good leader to a woman that could follow. That's what you're actually seeing. So learn to be good followers. Do not second guess your man all the time to the point where he starts second guessing himself. Start second guessing his ability, because the person who's supposed to be most closely following him is constantly undercutting him. That shit hurts. If I married you, if I'm perfectly capable of taking care of a situation, stop second guessing me. That can even make the strongest man be like, Well, shit, am I doing something wrong when he's doing nothing wrong? You are supposed to be his greatest support, his greatest follower. Learn how to follow. That woman told you she married a Pookie, and she just followed, and he rose to the occasion. Most men will do that if you prove them worthy. And if you're marrying them, you should have said no to the goddamn proposal. But well, who else got something on this? Fantasy, go ahead. What changes do modern women have to make to be regarded as good women?
Put on better jackets.
No, they don't. They just have to be kinder in general to people. A lot of people are nasty. They're nasty to their partners. They're nasty to strangers. They're just nasty people. And it makes it to where people like me, regardless of how I dress, get a lot more options than the modern woman because I'm going to shut up. I'm going to be cooperative. I'm going to do what my man says. I'm going to appreciate everything he says. I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to say please. I'm going to make sure he knows that I want him all the time. And they're going to value that and do little tweaks to me that they're not going to do to somebody that's mean all the time. You don't even have to. We're not going to get into the looks category or the body size or anything like that. Just be kinder, people. Just a small change.
For the record, you're saying that women should be more kind, right?
Yes.
So
they're
I don't
mean
believe
to
that.
each other. Like they're
I
mean
agree.
to us.
I think fantasies actually.
I don't agree, but go ahead. Why
No, I gotta hear this, Colin. Go ahead.
I don't agree at all. First of all, thank you for letting me onto the panel. I don't agree at all because these women of our generation, they don't respond well to kindness. So for a woman that's kind to waste her kind and pleasant spirit on people that are automatically negative, that's just not going to cut it these days.
But why aren't we advocating? We're saying what changes do they need to make? If you're saying it's that impossible, that's obviously because of all the people that are so negative, then that's obviously the biggest change they need to make.
Let me say this, Colin, because to your point, I think I see what you're saying, but we keep thinking, so we actually, it's contextually inaccurate. We think that we're always saying please, thank you, and showing respect to people for other people. We're not. Regardless of what is done to me, I show respect and manners and courtesy because of my name.
Facts. Yep.
My daddy gave me this name. If he caught me disrespecting people, that's my ass.
Yep.
So this man with this name is always going to be courteous, is always going to give courtesy, give respect, because you can never say that I didn't.
Yep.
My brethren, the people, the children that I produce, everybody with this name under my roof shows respect to other people because they report to me. You see what I'm saying? So nobody in this world could ever be like, your son did blank. That's not my son. But when you hear somebody speak on behalf of their family, I didn't teach him to do that. That's because they know that why they teach people. That's why we do it. We don't do it for others. We do it for our own name. We do it for our own brand. Like people like to behave like they're a brand. We are on our own brand. You don't go to Pepsi or you don't go to all these other people saying I'm gonna do blank. No, I'm doing this for my own brand. I represent my own self. That's why I give out courtesy and respect to all. We have taught that accidentally to kids that you're only supposed to give respect if it's given to you, and we created a bunch of degenerates doing that.
Let me reel it back in.
Yeah, but the thing is,
hold on, Fantasy Island girl. I want to respond to what you said earlier. I'm gonna double down on what I said about women not being able to be kind anymore. And I believe what they have to learn in order for them to become better women is to appreciate the situations and appreciate the experiences that are allotted to them by the people around them. So appreciation, just in one word, appreciation. That's all. That's what I want. That's all I think that we're missing in this world, especially in our generation, is the appreciation, whether it be for the elders or whether it be for the experiences or whether it be for just appreciation in general. That's
so you're tying into kindness. That's an act of kindness, showing appreciation.
Not at all.
So you obviously agree. You obviously agree that we need more kindness, and that should be a focus for us women, us modern women.
Kindness and appreciation are two different things, though.
I know they are two different things, but it is still a kind act for you to show appreciation. So they don't have a kind bone in their bodies. A lot, the women that I'm talking about, the ones that are nasty to everyone, the ones that they have their times where my family did not teach me Trigger Mike's stance. We don't believe that. You treat people, you are respectful to someone until they are disrespectful to you. Then you do what you need to do to stop that disrespect.
That's the way I was raised too, Fantasy.
That's what we were taught. But I respect his stance. I
Americans.
respect what
I
he
can't believe
teaches his family. But there's also people that show disrespect until you prove that they need to respect you. Those are the ones that need to switch up. That's unacceptable behavior.
So you were raised in a generation we match energy over here. If you're disrespectful, then I'm gonna be disrespectful.
Thank you, Trey.
If you're respectful, then I'll be respectful.
Am I right in saying that you were raised in a generation before this one?
At Trey, I got something for you though on that. As a former cop,
that's exactly what I did.
Hold on.
That's exactly what I did every day.
Between people, does that escalate situations or de-escalate situations?
No, it actually de-escalates. I know it sounds crazy, but it actually does, because especially when you're dealing with women, because a lot of the times when I would go in these houses, the women would pop off. They would go crazy because they thought nobody was going to do anything.
No.
I'm
I'm not talking about you as a cop. I'm talking about between two people. A man. So you walk in as a cop, and if a man matches a woman's energy, is he going to jail or no?
No, he's not going to jail because that has nothing to do with the actual crime. I was actually a good police officer, Trigger Mike. I didn't lock people up based on biases. I actually locked them based on merit and probable cause, like I was supposed to do. So I actually listened to the effects of the crime and the elements of the crime and made an arrest based on that. So yes, he could match energy all day. He could curse her out. There's nothing against a man cursing at a woman.
So,
He could
what I'm
curse her.
saying
He
is,
could curse her out left and right.
He slap her back. He ain't going to jail.
No, he's not going to jail. Not in DC. He's not.
Shit.
Because
Well,
hang on.
Police
Hang
every
on.
damn city.
I'm gonna explain it to you real quick. I'm gonna explain to you. In DC, when it comes to domestic violence, the aggressor is arrested, not the person who retaliates. So if she slaps him, she goes, not him. Trigger, I told you I arrested far more women than I arrested men for domestic violence because they always started it.
You just made a lot of sense to what I know about my people in DC. That shit makes a lot of sense now.
Trigger, that's what I was saying about
I've
the
never
work
been
together.
in that situation. You keep your hands to yourself, but I will match energy, like he said. So this not problematic for us to have this mindset. Those women are the ones that I said they will show disrespect until you prove that they need to respect you. That's problematic in our society. They gotta do better.
All right. I see you, House Hypocrites. Hold on, I'm bring you up. EBD, hold it down. Be in the back. Somebody else go on the question.
Who hasn't gone yet? Besides DMZ. Go ahead.
This is, for me, this is simple. In order for the changes to be made for women, you have to denounce social media, reality shows, and all of that stuff. You have to put that to the side. It's obviously been terrible for our culture, for our people, for the women. Going and watching a reality show and seeing a woman get a $250,000 wedding does not mean you're going to get a $250,000 wedding. That's not how this works, right? I just watched a video where the woman told a man she wanted him to buy her a house. And when he asked why, he said, so I can tell my friends that my man bought me a house. That was the only reason. Not so I can make it a home, not so I can raise our family in it. Nothing, just so I want to go out and just tell people that my man bought me a home. Which is, it's social media, reality TV shows. And I dated a woman who was on a reality TV show now. Her mind was screwed up, literally screwed up. Sure. They live in an alternate universe than we do. They don't live in reality. And so once women decide to denounce those, I think we'll be better, but I highly doubt that will happen. But that's the changes I see. You got to get rid of the social media and reality shows.
Oh, reality shows. It like that stuff. If you already know if your woman is frequenting that type of behavior, I'm starting to see the correlation between the type of woman a woman wants to be and those programs. Like women will say they can watch that shit and be unaffected. Like they'll do that all the time. No, it affects you. It affects you because if you start to get responses like that from a woman as a man, this is what I meant when I said we can't tell the difference between the good women and bad women because they all adopt the same ideologies. They all adopt the same responses to everything. So it's like, what you mean? You a married woman? Why you talking like that? That's what the single dumbass boppers be saying. Like, what? So you see what I'm saying? So I really encourage women, if you want to be known as a good woman, and this is actually meaningful in your attempt to get, most of y'all want to get married, most of y'all are hitting the wall, then we're going to need to see you this way. And men, unfortunately, will mess with a woman simply because they don't want to be alone, simply because she looks good, with no intentions on taking it any further than, yeah, that's just my girl. And that's not what y'all want. So y'all need to do what's required to get a ring from a dude who's trying to do that. But House of Hypocrites, what's going on, man? You got something on the topic?
Yo, what's up, dog? Hey, what I was thinking was, shit, they just gotta change their friends. Women gotta change the women that they hang around, bro, because that's a big influence on the particular relationships. So if you getting with, say a woman, she got a dude, but all her friends single, she gonna be influenced by her friends to do single shit. It's hard for these women to be upfront, confront their friends about the hoish ways or the bad ways that they have, and eventually that starts to like marinate within them, and they start chipping off doing the same shit that their friends do. So in order for them to take this path of being a good woman, they need to change their friends, they need to change their circle. Just like somebody said, if a nigga broke, hang around people who making money, they gonna teach you how to make money. So if they hang around women that got a fucked up life, they got a fucked up relationship, that's gonna trickle out into her relationship, and she gonna start inheriting those characteristics, which she already probably like that in the first place. You feel me? Because you hang around birds, what they say, birds of a feather flock together, man. Women need to start changing their circles and get with women who actually want to do something, want to have a family, want to have a motherfucking man. You feel me?
That might have been one of the first OG statements I ever heard. The dude said if he said, if your homegirl a hoe, you are honorary. If your homegirl a hoe, you are honorary one. Like, I understand that some women may have friends that, you know, maybe you went to college with, you knew she was a bopper, but you never got down like that. If you start to make changes in your life, like you get married, and these women don't have the same ideology as you anymore. So, like, this is why I'm proud of my own wife, because she naturally fell off from her other friends and would say things like, I don't think, you know, it hurt her feelings. Because she like, I don't think these women are, you know, we don't have the same interests anymore. And I don't think women can be without friends. I'm gonna be honest. I'm cool chilling in the crib by myself, smoking a cigar and drinking a Corona, watching the game. I've been doing that for years. I go out when I want to see my homies. I am 100% fine doing by myself. But that shit was eating my wife up. So then I'm like, well, then you just need to find some married friends with kids. You see what I'm saying? And y'all bond over that. Now she got a grip of them. She joined a whole group of moms, and then she think just like them, she moved just like them, she talked just like them, and they all rejoice over being married and having kids. You see what I'm saying? So you're right. That I agree with that 100%. Those women that still literally saying, can you watch the kids so I can go to brunch where the single women go? Like, you see what I'm saying? That's a problem when she's doing that repeatedly, week on week, and all of that. But who else got someone? All right, we're going to get to the next question then. Opinion. Anybody can jump in on this. At what age does a woman become a less attractive option, and why?
30.
28.
25.
Trey, you toxic.
25.
That's real.
Maybe like
25, she got to go.
Maybe 35 and older.
35. That's too old, brother.
I'm with EBD.
Why?
35.
Why is 35?
Wait, hold on. Let me see why you with EBD. How old are you?
31.
Okay. She leaving that buffer in there. That's why she's leaving that buffer.
Yeah, but I think at 30, like, right, because you passed your 20, right? So you're more mature now. Maybe you're in that stage where you are nearly getting your shit together, or maybe you realize that out of your 20s, you got to get your shit together, so you're more mature, right? Which means you're putting up with less of the fuckery and bullshit, and you all about, you know, finding something or looking for something more stable. But by then, you've already had all your fun. You already ran all through all the bad boys, and you know you what's left. So at 35, you might be a little jaded. Your clock is already kind of running out. You're kind of looking for the white picket fence, the American dream, and your perfect husband. But a lot of that's too late, because when you in your 21, 22, 23, you ain't interested in those kind of stability. You're interested in out there partying, having fun, doing what you want to do. Nobody can tell you nothing. It isn't until you're older that we look at you and we like, yeah, you done, huh? You really done. So it's kind of, that's kind of why I say 35.
I'm gonna say
the question is what age does a woman become a less attractive option?
25.
So if it's 25. So if she's in her prime between 18 and 24, 25 would be when she becomes the less attractive option, because I can get women who are younger than her at 25.
Okay, I get your point.
I'll go last on why I said 30.
You know what? Let me say it like this, because I'm a bit different. I could never, if my wife left me today, I could never date a woman that's younger than my youngest sister. And she is 20, I'm 8 years older. She's 28. So I can't do it. For some reason, I just can't have a woman that's mentally where my sisters are looking at her like, you idiot, you bimbo. I can't do it. So I'm gonna actually say 30. I feel like the more dominant nature of a man that you have, the more you can play down that thing that we're all trying to avoid, where a woman is literally looking to butt heads with you. So, I'm that dude. I'm Nigerian. I'm kind of like, you ain't gonna talk to me no kind of way anyway. And I'm quick to put a woman off for that type of behavior. So yeah, I can take one a little older. Plus, a woman that still look super good at 30, because I'm gonna be real with y'all. This is something we don't talk about enough. Black women fight their genes early. At 25, that how they can eat anything and it don't affect them and all that type of stuff. At 25, they fighting that shit. So if she 30 and she still, them jeans still looking good and all that, I'm gonna be like, all right, you doing some work.
But she's 30 though.
All right, but I'm just saying that because I married my wife at 30. So yeah.
Man, 30 ain't old, bro, man. But
30
that's right.
30 is old. Listen, these older women, they don't do nothing but go to dinners and trauma dump on you. That's all they do. Listen, I'm gonna stick with the younger ones. At least they ain't built up as much trauma. These old, man, I went out on a date with a woman, she was 34, and I felt like her therapist. That's all she wanted to talk about was all the crap that has happened to her. And I even asked at the end of the date, how do you think this date went? Like, how do you think this went? Because I'm not interested. You got a lot of issues you need to work through. And I couldn't get all this through text message and a couple phone conversations before we went on a date. They got a lot of issues, man. It's been building up for almost 2 decades between their 20s and 30s.
You was supposed to knock her off after the goddamn dinner, my boy. She just telling you she wants something, bro.
I don't want them problems. And then she's standing in my backyard with a knife in the middle of the rain. I don't need all that.
Shit! What kind of? You know what? I'm out of
take it to your house. You got your room.
I'm out of the convo. I forgot y'all mess with crazy Jones.
No.
Y'all mess with crazy Jones. I can't do it.
Trigger. You went to Howard University. You know exactly what type of women are down there.
I went to Norfolk State University.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you.
NSU just as bad, Trigger Mike. Don't do that.
NSU is worse, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You know exactly what type of women I'm talking about.
Yeah.
In this area.
Yeah.
And then they stopped dating at 24 to take a break, just to come back at 28 to do the same dumb ass shit.
That was part of my
24.
That's a good point.
That's why I say 28. They come back and do the same dumb ass. I ain't changed bitch ass thing.
If everyone is gone, I would love to tell you why I said 30.
I say 28 because them last 2 years they ain't gonna change nothing. They coming back in the game and finna do the same dumb ass shit.
So the reason I said 30 is because between the ages of 18 and 21, she's going to go through her whole phase where she goes to college. She runs off with the dude that she really isn't interested in, but she still gives him a chance. Like he said, there's a break that she does between, I would say, the ages of 22 and 26. So around the age of 25, she's going to think that her career is more important than her dating, or she's going to think that her survival is more important. So at that point, she's going to go into another relationship that would usually fail. I'm going to say it's about 60% of women that do this. And then around 30, then she goes downhill because now she's going to settle for either her career or the man. And she's going to be confused between the ages of 30 and 35. So that's why I say 30, because that's where it starts to go downhill for most women.
Ash,
but when does she become a less attractive?
What's that, big dog?
Ash.
She became less attractive the moment that she left that first relationship between the ages of 22 and 26. Once she
so that means at 27 then.
When you say attractive, are you saying like attractive to like want to be in a relationship with?
Yeah.
Or attractive, or just like how she look?
I'm gonna say relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 30 for sure.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Cause man, if you're a dude with options, then you might want somebody a little bit younger than 30. But if you ain't got no option, you better shoot for that 30, 35 range. They're looking for a man desperately. You feel me? So I don't know. I don't know, man.
That's kind of true.
I don't know if it's so much the age as far as the experience that she's gone through, right? If she's been through a relationship where she had a good man and lost a relationship, you know, she'll take away something completely different than someone else who's just been ran through her college years, been pumped and thumped, doesn't know what a stable relationship is or looks like, and isn't interested in it.
You know what? We got two. You just brought up a good point, though, EBD. So we got two types of women in the Black community. We got the type that's been like literally ran through. She got all the trauma. She done messed with all the bad dudes. So and then we got the woman that's married to her career. It literally, and then she's treating you like you literally go on a date with this type of woman. I've been on a date with this type of woman that spends the date letting you know she'll never prioritize your ass. That shit is something else.
I don't let those type of women talk at the date, bro. I just go ahead and go for what I'm trying to go for and then leave if she ain't with it.
Yep. Like literally, I don't. So that just throws me back to, like, do women actually think we find work talk sexy? Like,
yes,
do you
they
think,
do.
Do you think my Johnson is getting hard under the table because you like? And yeah, when I be killing them, I was like,
And then Trigger, they come home every day talking about work. We just come home
like
and say it was all right. Had the worst day in the world.
Imagine if y'all had the same job.
Oh nah, bro, no. Like literally. So here's the funny thing about work. Here's the funny thing about men will go to work to get their ass whooped. When I tell you, like, pulling up to the crib, knowing I got a cold ass Corona in the fridge, and I can sit down and plop on my couch, maybe see my kids. The last fucking thing I want to do is talk about work. Bro.
Talk about work, right?
I don't know why they think we like that shit. I don't get it. But Esh, I need your opinion as the only woman currently on the panel.
Mm-hmm.
At what age does a woman become a less attractive option? What do you think, men? What do you think our outlook on this is?
Well, before EBD said 35, I was gonna say 30. Because these young girls, they give us some competition now. Like, and it's the older we get, you know, we get stuck in our ways and all of that. But I'm the complete opposite of what y'all be dealing with. That's why I'm like, what type of females do y'all be dealing with? I'm not going on a date to talk about work. When I get off of work, I'm done with work. Like, I don't want to talk about work. And I will hope you don't be on a date talking about work either. And all women do not go through a hoe phase. Where did y'all get that from?
I mean, we understand that there's three that don't.
Where did y'all get that from? I did not go through
We
a hoe
understand
phase.
that there might be 5 that don't go through it, but you know, there's 7.
They all do.
No, we do not.
5 out of 1,000, man. They all either they doing it for real or they going through a whole phase for attention.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Question. Are you saying that you just have it? You just have it. This has skipped you by.
Nah, y'all. I agree.
I really haven't.
Let me tell you why I agree.
I'm just asking a question.
Hold on,
No, I know. I really haven't.
Let me tell y'all why I agree. Because I agree with the fellas for a time. Then I, because of my culture and shit, I had to get married. Then I was like, oh shit, all women are hoes. Because all I knew, all my homegirls were hoes. Every woman that I knew that was a career woman, they hoeing niggas backing through the crib. I was like, oh shit, all women are hoes. And I was like, nope. There's the only women that are available to me are hoes. All the women that aren't are currently in relationships. So you got to wait for one to get out of one. And so it's like there are some women who they just go one relationship, they chill, then they with another dude for a long period of time. So I found one that literally was with her high school boyfriend. She made it out of college. Then she met me. I was like, gone. Because if she out here alone, then she gonna pick up the same habits all other women
So
got.
The problem,
like
Trigger Mike, is
sex,
that we will
but
never know. We never know if they're telling the truth.
You
so
will
just
know.
dating
She cut their
multiple
hair off.
men
It's
is
over
a whole
with.
phase.
Hold on, Trey. This is what I say to that though. Does a woman with 5 bodies behave the same as a woman with 50 or more?
In today's age, yes, they know how to. They know how to chameleon.
don't.
Yes, they do. They know how to act, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, they do. They do blend in.
They
They do
know how
blend
to play
in.
this game. See, this is what I'm saying.
How do
Y'all
you
guys
gonna
not
lie,
out here
man? Y'all
dating
got
them.
They do
all
blend
know how to
in.
act, bro. Now, granted, here's the thing: they can't do it long term. It will come out eventually.
Okay, I agree.
But in the early stages, man, they can fool you. They can fool you if you
Early,
don't know what you're
they
doing.
can fool you. You're right, but dog, like when I say women with 50 or more bodies are sexually arrogant, bro. They be trying to match niggas. They walk around like they are niggas.
A woman with 5 bodies thinks, acts, and behaves differently than another one with 50 bodies. I got friends on both. So yeah. They're two completely different women. The language is the same. Their understanding is the same. Is completely different, right? They may be 2 women, but they move differently through the universe. If one's really hot and have had a lot of guys hitting on her, and then a lot of guys ran through her, she knows how to manipulate men to get what she wants to a certain degree. Other one with the low body count, completely different. She knows how to maybe maintain a relationship from a long distance of time, 2 years here, 5 years here, which is how you get the low body count. So it's different.
Man, women learn how to manipulate when them titties start growing in. The moment them titties grow in, they all learn how to start manipulating. It ain't got nothing to do with her body count.
On your square was glitching with a fantasy girl trying to keep up and stay on code. So
there we go. Example. We got Fantasy Island girl and we got her square.
Who admitted she went through a whole phase?
We got 2 different examples.
On your square was just
about how women think, about how this woman thinks. Her square, think about how she talks about her husband, her one dude, right? Her one dude. She's not talking about this guy. Before I met my husband, it was this guy and this guy. She doesn't talk like that. She doesn't behave. She doesn't think.
And
like
that doesn't mean that she didn't have.
But she was trying to talk like
a woman with 50 bodies doesn't talk like that.
How do you know? How do you?
What do you mean? I'm friends. I'm in that lifestyle. You don't know. Yo, Trey. Because you don't know. Because you don't know doesn't mean everybody is ignorant as you. No.
How you gonna ruin my example that I threw out there?
What is your example? What is your example?
When I brought up on your square and fantasy, how you just gonna take my example and run the fuck off?
They don't behave and they don't act the same.
She was trying to. She was trying to blend in with fantasy. That's my point.
But she couldn't do it, right? You heard the language, right?
Yeah, she was glitching out and shit.
One had the titties all out. One had the titties all out, and the other one could not stop talking about her husband.
All right, guys.
She said she married a Pookie and a Ray Ray. She said that herself. So
that's right.
That speaks about her. Does it?
One body.
Okay, bro. All right. You want to believe what you want to believe.
You want to count?
And that's fine. I'm gonna let you stay in your fantasy world. But I don't believe that anybody who marries a Pookie and a Ray Ray is a one body, one count person. I don't believe it. That doesn't even begin to make sense.
Well, believe what you want. This ain't church.
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
We know what the facts are.
Believe what you want to believe.
Yeah, we don't know, but we do know she was young, though, Trey. That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing.
Exactly. So we don't know if she's telling the truth or not.
Yeah. No, but she was young. So you give her a little bit some benefit of the doubt. That
y'all want to give her grace because she spoke so highly about her husband, and I don't have a problem with that. But you guys don't know.
I'll take a young one over the 30 because women try to do that thing where they say, "How do you know a 18-year-old, a 19-year-old girl doesn't have as many bodies as a 30-year-old?" Well, I can do time. Okay, she was asleep for 8 hours of the day under her parents' roof, and she was in school for 8 hours a day. Y'all, but the other hoes get hold 24/7. So I'm gonna guess that she got less bodies than you. I can do math.
30-year-old got her own apartment. What you think is
happening? Her own fucking apartment.
We don't care. In there?
Jesus. Like, yeah. So they be like, no, they might have more bodies. I doubt it.
Appreciate you letting me onto the panel, Mr. Trigger Mike.
No doubt.
Before I go, though, I just want to say one more thing. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate the people that's protecting y'all in this world. It's a crazy world we're living in. Appreciate the people that's giving you guidance. Appreciate everything because you don't know what's promised to you the next day. Be a good woman to a good man. Be a good woman whether you don't got a man. Don't matter. Many blessings. Bless up.
Hey, good, man.
All right, Colin.
Go out
hey, look, I'm gonna tell y'all, they act like they don't listen, bro. They be listening. They be listening. Have you ever noticed that people that show up to talk shit in the chat still show up? They be listening, bro. They want to hear this shit.
Trolls are always gonna be under the bridge.
Yeah,
bro.
they be showing up. But damn, anybody gave their opinion on this, on the age thing? All right, let's get final thoughts in there. What is it? Oh, what is a good woman? In fact, hypocrite, we didn't get your thoughts on this. Describe your version of a good woman?
This is the easiest thing, bro. If I'm selling blooms, she need to be there blowing them bitches up. If I'm selling blooms, she need to be there blowing them bitches up. A good woman is a woman who gonna support her man. That's it. Once you support him, you gonna follow him. Once you support your man, you gonna follow him. A good woman is a woman who support. Then you can figure out the other shit later.
Damn. I mean, I like it because I was like, where he going with this? When he said blow them shit, I was like, it seems like, but no, that's fact.
I like the support aspect, but I'll never work with my girl ever again.
Yo, if we can make one thing very clear, Trey been hurt before. He jaded.
Yes.
I like Trey. I like Trey.
He giving back all the savagery to all of you women in real life that you gave him.
I told you I like to be in my misogynistic bag. I hate when I have to defend women.
Misogyny.
Misogyny. All right, EBD, final thought.
All right, I'll be real quick. Gotta get to the gym anyway. But nah, good women are it's hard to find, but it ain't too difficult to recognize a good woman when you talk to her. When she talks about somebody that besides her, that's kind of how you know, like has she been hurt? And if she's hurt, does she still carry that pain? And does she bring the pain to the relationship? Or does she, or is she a better woman now? Hey, I was dealing with all this before, but my life is good now. My job is good now. I'm good now. Then you know who you're sitting across the table from, and then you can take it from there. But I mean, I know as men that we're quick to hit the box, and that's fine. But women want something after that, right? They want something longer than that. That's going to take a little bit more vetting in order to stick with one woman, because if you ain't dealing with the one, you're dealing with many. So, we have that obligation to, choose more carefully about who we want to get a relationship with long term. And what you want to do is look for the qualities that you want in the woman that's good for you. And second of all, just to wrap this up, being good to a woman, a woman that's yours, and her being good to you, that's natural. You don't have to teach her anything. She is the full package coming to you. You just got to open it up and see what's inside. All that stuff is for you, right? But if it's all toxic and all that, you can kind of smell that too. You can smell trash has a unique smell, and nobody wants to be near trash. Trash talks the same, it smells the same, and everybody can see it, and nobody wants it, right? When it's somebody good, it's like, it's kind of harder to see. You got to dig a little bit and find all those qualities that you're looking for in order to move forward, for especially something long term, right? So that's just what I got to say. It's really short and simple.
I bet.
I was going to ask a question. I was going to ask this question. So, as a man, can you turn a hoe into a good woman?
Hell no.
No. Wait. No. And the reason is because
we have a resident hoe here, by the way. We have a resident hoe.
You can't teach her how to be a good woman?
The reason is when we're talking about hoes into housewives, we're talking about sexual satisfaction. It's very hard for women to find that one dude that can just knock it out and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm done with all these other dudes. This is my dude. He puts it down. I don't need no other like wang anywhere. That's very, very hard to find in a woman who's been out there.
Look, you can teach a woman to do anything. The question is can she execute? That's the issue. You can teach her what needs to be done for her to be a good woman, how to be a housewife, but can she actually do it? And does she want to actually do it? Is the question. And a lot of the times, most of the hoes don't want to actually be housewives. They want to talk about doing it. They see it as a better option.
They want to try it.
They want to try it, but they don't actually want to do it.
No, you can't.
The real hoes don't want to get married.
I'll ask this question then. If these hoes are seeking so much attention for these men, don't you think they really want a man?
No, so I think listen. I think Trey kind of hit it on the head, where he says wanting it. I think it's on their bucket list. They want what's popular. They want what's trendy. Their nature is telling them they want a man. But y'all know the old saying that people always saying, practice makes what?
Perfect.
No, ain't nobody perfect. Practice makes habit. So when you look at these women, what are they practicing in their life? They practicing hoeing. They practicing taking risque pictures on Instagram. They practicing not texting niggas back and going after the wrong dude. They practice 304 behavior for a majority of their life. So it's going to become a habit to them. So even if they think they can just divert from their habits and say, well, some of my friends are married and I think I want to try that because it looks honorable, they're going to get into that honorable institution of marriage and start fucking up right away. You see what I'm saying? Like they're just going to start looking. That's why women are trying to make everything that's bad inappropriate in the institution of marriage. That's why I'm trying to be like, it's okay for me to have male friends as a married woman. They be saying stupid shit like that because they've been practicing the habit that 304s have for so long, they will never know how to turn it off. So no, you cannot, like somebody said in the chat, if you him. That's talk. They're trying to use our talk against us. No. If I'm him, I'm going to go look for an obedient woman outright. Like I said, you got to look for a good follower that finds every bit of 304 behavior distasteful and unacceptable within the institution of marriage. So, every woman ain't a wife, and I think we don't tell women that enough. It's like, look, we're not even going to disparage you for being who you are. Just don't come over here with the BS trying to say you're going to commit and all of that, because you're just going to be out here riding some other dude dick when you get angry. I ain't with it.
All right, so I guess my closing thought is, I think a good woman, final thought, is a woman that comes closest to the virtuous woman that you can read in the Bible, right? And live in a secular world, because nobody's that perfect. But, the distance, if you could measure and you can measure the woman that you want to cleave to, if she has any virtue left, and that's the word I'm stuck on, because the women of the day, very few of them have any virtue left whatsoever. I mean, none. So you got to cherry pick and find these ladies who, and I don't even want to go by body count, because if they're not a virgin, it doesn't really matter in terms of if they know dick or not, right? Because that one dude could have been busting their ass, man. So, and one thing about a woman, I don't give a shit how old she is, she never forgets the first guy who bust those cheeks, okay? No matter how much she loves you. So you can't get hung up on it, but if she's a 304, that's different. So you gotta be able to feel whether the woman you're vetting and courting for your wife has you have virtue left, so she could cleave to you as a man and her leader. And that's what I look for.
I like that. Ash, final thoughts, and then Ashton after that.
Don't be a 304, ladies.
It's too late.
Because that seemed to be the only problem.
It's too late. Next. It's too late. Next. You got anything else?
Just be more understanding of a man's feelings, listen more, cooperate more, just remain in your femininity, as they like to say. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just me. And most men say that I'm a good woman, so I don't know. I just go to work, live my life, do what I got to do, and that's it. And don't be a 304. Again.
304 culture, sugar baby culture, prostitution culture is here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
I know, and I hate it.
You want to be a good woman, lower your prices. That's my final thought.
Oh God, Trey.
Yo, Trey is out with the savagery. We got a resident hoe and a resident savage. All right, Ashton, go ahead, take us out.
Trey for president 2024.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ashton, final thoughts.
Trey for president 2024.
Yeah, yes, you be showing some words. Y'all funny as hell.
I'm running Republican though, just so y'all know I'm running Republican.
Hell yeah, Trey. You gonna be on my
team, bro. We need more conservative.
Because I say some shit in these streets, but after some of the shit you said, we definitely not getting elected unless I'm the front of the ticket. God damn.
You're my campaign manager.
Hey, Trigger Mike, let me just say this before y'all can go check out my second in the series of divestment from the Democratic Party. I got a video on my channel, and it's focused on Chicago. It's kind of long, but I got a series of things. We got to get the hell away from these liberals. They're killing us.
Hey, you know, as the election and stuff gets closer, we're gonna start chopping. Like they start debating, we're gonna start chopping that up on the show, bro. Because listen, do not work on the women at all. Because I'm telling you, just get enough black men to the conservative side, and you will see all of that get dismantled, bro. Because men are at their best when they are at their most conservative. We were the most married people. We handle business. We had businesses. We had group. Like, look. When men are conservative, we hold shit down. So don't worry about bringing any women. Don't even argue with women. You see on YouTube, we can't do that shit. Bring as many black men who are just sitting around looking for an ideology to adopt. Bring them on over to the dark side. And
speaking of divestment, did y'all see the white man who left his black wife and moved to Brazil?
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that today.
No, send me the link. I need to see that.
Right,
she crying. She hurt.
I'm gonna try to find it, Trigger, and I'm gonna send it to you. But yeah, he straight up abandoned her. He just moved to Brazil. Just left her, bro.
the sister.
I don't even feel bad for shit.
All that divesting talk, and that man rolled out on you.
He's a man. That's why I'm like, why they acting like one man is different from? They just need a talking point. That's all it is. But all right, y'all, I got to get out of here. Let me go get. It's about to pour like shit in Houston, bro. You see, this shit dark. It's not even supposed to be dark outside. But I'll holler at y'all. Let me go get my babies. Hey, once again, thank y'all for coming through to the Trigger Mike Show on the greatest network on YouTube, the Lapeef Network. Tomorrow we got King Talk, so make sure you subscribe and hit that like button on the way out for the stream today. I want to thank everybody for coming through. This was a really dope convo. Appreciate Fantasy Island Girl, Her Square, and S Chanel, all the ladies that came through to give their opinion on this particular topic. You are appreciated, and you are always welcome. Thanks for all the super chats as well. Let me get those read. Bravo Tech says $10. Trey said, I'll never work with my girl again. That was a problem. She should work for you, not with you. That can happen too. Harrison Davis, 757, salute. Appreciate that, hometown brother. All right, thank y'all for coming through again, man. This was a dope show. I like this one, all right? I really, really like this one. Make sure y'all show your support. Hit that share button. Share this out to people so they know this is what you're watching to get you through your workday. I appreciate all of y'all. We'll be back tomorrow with another topic. I don't have it yet, but shit, you know it's going to be fire because that's what we do. I'll holler at y'all. I'm out.